Alright, welcome everybody to another edition of Takoyaki Party. This is the year-end episode for 2017. Woo! Woo! I'm joined here by 4 members of our esteemed community, which you could say might be our entire community. So let's introduce them. First we have Craig, aka Mr. Snow... Not Mr. Snowman, that's the E-Girl song. Snowman, 81.
Making my annual appearance.
Alright, just so everybody knows who you are, tell us about yourself, I guess. Like, who's your Oshiman or whatever, I don't know. Some pertinent fact that makes it stand out.
If you don't know, I tend to do a lot of like spot translations of Manabu-kun on Twitter, and my Oshiman is Yamamoto Sayaka.
Yeah, actually I thought it was Ota Yuri for a minute, but...
I mean, it should be.
No, it shouldn't. Alright, next we have Jeff, also known as... I want to say Gale, that's where I used to rent my movies.
That's where I buy my used games.
Yeah, GeoFreak17 on Twitter. I'm the NMB Hako Oshi who doesn't have an NMB Oshi. My Oshi is Yuri-han, but my NMB Oshi now is Hayashi Momota.
There you go. There you go. At least you're not Hako Oshi. There were none of those.
Fun.
Alright, next we got Matt.
Hey yo, I'm Matt. I'm Matto_Dio on Twitter. And I'm the white American guy you see at events a lot. And my Oshi is Yamamoto Sayaka.
What? Really? I thought it was somebody else.
Well, she might have graduated.
Okay.
Suddenly got
Is it
real.
Shu?
Nah.
Is it Shu?
Nah.
No, okay. Hopefully not Ridiko. And last we have
Spoilers! No.
Last we have Ryan.
Hello, everybody. I don't know. You can find me on Twitter, stage, whatever. And I am mostly in all events, I guess. I go to majority of the events. You can find me in front of Otayuri Lane all the time, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. A lot of times when we all gather at events and stuff, like we'll all go to like our own lanes and all our members. And Ryan never moves; he's always in front of Ota Yuri's lane. So because of that, we just end up meeting there all the time.
It's the de facto meeting place.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Unless we want to sit down, then we go to the dinosaur museum.
Wait, what?
We went there too, Joe. When you were around, it's the other
in
building.
Makahara Messe. Yeah.
I don't think we went there.
I think it was Pacifico was when. Maybe.
No, I'm thinking about the time when like we had spare time in between concerts in Kobe and we went to IKEA for hot dogs.
Oh yeah.
That's my memory. Okay, so this is the year-end episode of Takoyaki Party. So we're gonna give out some awards that we made up. We will recap like some of our favorite events, some of our saddest events. We'll go down the list. But yeah, today we have what, 8 awards to give out? Yeah, 8 awards to give out, and you know, as we talk about the awards, we're gonna go discuss, you know, what we liked about it. Basically, yeah, just get ready for another round of discussion and all that other good stuff that you're probably used to if you pay attention to this podcast. So, I guess let's just kick it off right away. The first award is the Certified Banger of 2017. This award is given to the best song of 2017. Now, I have to say that this year was pretty sparse with the songs. We only have one single that's coming out on the, 24th?
27th.
27, just barely. One single for the year. Yeah, what's going on? And we also had an album in July or June?
I think it was August. Or end of July, August. Yeah.
July.
One of those summer months. Yeah. And we only had, 3 or 4 new songs, which is probably the same amount that we have on the single.
Yeah, I think the single has like 6 new songs, and the album was 4 songs, which is incredibly stupid. But yeah.
So basically, we have the equivalent of one normal American album song for the entire year. So let's first start, I guess, in this totally randomized order that just came off the top of my head. First to present their song of the year is Ryan.
Yeah, I think everyone will has the same answer. I don't know, because this is the only thing that I could think of when I saw the title. Saw the category. So my favorite song of the year is Sa Psycho. You have to say it 3 times.
Yeah, it makes you sound dumb, but
No, because
unless you actually stutter. I don't want to say people that stutter are dumb. That's just rude.
no, it's because rather than the senbatsu, so a lot of people like focus on like the young senbatsu here, right? But rather than the senbatsu, I actually really like the song. It's like really fun. So, and it's like gets you really hyped up. Like they play this quite a bit in the concerts. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like I guess for me, it was the song that made the biggest impression, and it was the most fun, which I guess is like pretty much all we need to ask for a song.
Mm-hmm. Okay, before we resume the discussion, is there anybody else that selected Sa Psycho as their certified banger of 2017?
Yes.
Oh, so we have 2 Sa Psychos. I really do like the song. I think so when Must Be Now came out, right? I was like, oh man, this song is great, right? It's like super hype. But it turns out if you go to a concert, it's not very hype. Like people like really hype songs, like they like to jump around like Dirty and Shonen. I think Sa Psycho is like one of those that's like borderline like hype, and I think that's a really good song to give to like your youngest Rising Star members.
Yeah, and,
so,
and it's also that it doesn't have PV, right? So it gains like the mythical status where you can't really see it except during concerts. And it's always like it accompanies like the young members, right? And then they go like they start jumping around, and then like yeah, as you said, right, Must Be Now, like all those like complicated songs, like it's really hard to get hyped for them in concerts, but like these kinds of songs like Sa Psycho, it's like they're simple and it's like easy for the people to like get into them.
Yeah. It does remind me a little bit of like Seishun no Lap Time, in that like I mean like people like Seishun no Lap Time is the iconic concert song, but it was also like the B-side for their first single or something like that.
Yeah, it was the B-side for Zetsumetsu.
So I feel like this is kind of like the 5th gen's Seishun almost.
Yeah.
And it was also the theme of their concert series, right?
Yeah, it was the summer concert.
All right, Craig, what do you have to say about this?
I mean, part of it too is they kind of like drill it into your head if you watch, especially if you watch a lot of YNN. Anytime someone mentions the word cycle, they play that in the background. So they're pushing that song, but it's a good song to push. It's fun. So that's why. I mean, I would have picked Kodoku Guitar, but technically that was last year by like 3 days, so I couldn't pick that one. But I like the song.
Okay. Anybody else have any other comments, Jeff?
Yeah, I just want to... I didn't think much of it when I heard it on the CD, but then going to the 7th anniversary and hearing it for the first time definitely was a lot more fun than I expected. And, doing something really silly, like waving your hand back and forth while the members do it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I do feel like the whole like concert song presence is something that's like pretty underrated when foreigners talk about like the singles, like when they come out, it's like oh yeah I like that song, but it's like yeah, but is it a song that like you get excited about when you go to a concert? And I mean for singles it's pretty obvious, but for songs like Sa Psycho, like I think it's something special. Matt, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm probably the same as Jeff, where I didn't really I have never heard that song until I went to like the concert. I bought the album, but I only just listened to Moscow Singapore because that's the only one I actually cared about on the album. But I saw him play it, and like they did on the screen, they have like the big pop up cycle that you're supposed to repeat.
Yeah.
So that, and the happy or whatever. So yeah, it's a fun song.
So we have Ryan selecting Psycho for his certified banger of 2017, and Craig also agreed. Next, we have Jeff. Jeff, what did you select?
I picked Masaka Singapore.
Wow.
I just really like the song. It's a really good idol song. The PV is great. I really like the theme that it continued off of Okuigai no Darika and like passed on the mic to Miruru. You know, even though it wasn't technically a single, it was promoted like the typical summer singles that we get, so it's just really upbeat and fitting for the season.
Okay. Any other comments? Or first of all, does anybody else have? Matt, do you have Masaka Singapore? Not Masaka Singapore.
No, I don't. But it is a runner-up.
Okay. Do you have any comments about it?
Yeah, I really like that song too. If it wasn't for my other song that chose my favorite, that would be my favorite. I also really like the PV also. Not just because it's like the summer beach stuff, but because it's like after I just finished Persona 5 and it's kind of the same kind of vibe from Persona 5 with the whole like masquerade, cat burglars. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
That wasn't a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler.
No, I just started playing.
I mean, they did block
actually,
you from streaming after 10 minutes anyway, so.
Well, I did borrow Persona 5 from one of my friends, but I haven't had time to play it, so.
I spent the first 2 hours, and there's only like one fight.
That sounds like Persona.
Yep.
Sounds like Dragon Quest 7. Oh my god. Anyway. I also really like the PV. Actually, I didn't watch it for a really long time. I think I only watched it for the first time last month. I think my favorite part was when Momoka's yelling at the bus driver. I don't know. That's just me, I guess. But yeah. Also, filthy bikinis. Any other comments about it?
I actually like the classy bikinis, to be honest. Like usually they have like the cheap ass bikinis like they use for the
hentai Mizugi.
Yeah, basically the hentai. Well, they don't really do the hentai Mizugi for the PVs, but it's pretty close to hentai Mizugi, right? But this time they chose like really like apparently they bought like fashion brands like. So some like crazy person actually went through like all the bikinis and found them online. so
some crazy person.
Were they new?
The bikinis?
Yeah, were they new bikinis or?
Yeah. So basically, like they have like famous brands, and then those are the ones that those brands have. Like for example, like Sayaka's one is like a really expensive. I think it's like 100,000 yen.
That's real expensive.
Yeah, man, and you're not even paying for a lot of clothing.
Yeah. Anyway, so I like that they tried to class it up, I guess. But I really dislike the title though. It's like I don't know, man. Why do you have to have Singapore in the name?
Yeah, and they didn't even go to Singapore.
Yeah.
Singapore.
As we mentioned in the last podcast.
I remember Daryl getting really pissed off. Like, why do they call it Singapore?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Daryl does funny things. All right. Any other comments for Masaka Singapore?
It's the first Miru Solo Center.
Yeah. Any other comments?
I also like the part in the music video where the like waiter brings Sayaka her drink and then she just gets up and leaves him. And he's like, what the fuck?
I also really like the dance. I just can't resist copying the dance every time I watch it.
I don't even know the dance. I didn't even know there was a dance.
That's
I remember when they turn on the lasers and stuff, and I'm like, oh dude, this is like Entrapment. Remember that movie?
Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, that was her breakout film, I think. because she crawled through the lasers in very alluring fashion.
Oh yeah, and there was that one performance they did on TV where they had like Olympic swimmers or whatever, like doing like flips from like one side of the pool to the other.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So that's what I think of whenever I think of like the dances or whatever. Do like dolphin dives.
All right.
Yeah.
So that'll close it. So Jeff's favorite song, favorite banger, top banger of 2017 is Masuka Singapore. And then next we have Matt. What do you got for us?
My certified banger of 2017 is What Up the People.
All right.
Because
I also selected
oh, yeah.
Wado to People as my favorite. But please comment on your
elaborate.
favorite parts of the song.
So I said this on Twitter earlier, but this is What Up the People is NMB's best song since Duran Shonen. That's my hot take. Yeah, because of
that kind of thing.
Yep.
You're wrong, but you're entitled to
Say
your
it like
own opinion.
if you're into that kind of thing. Like, is it dirty?
So
or
like, I'll give my timeline basically. So since Duran Shonen, next one was Must Be Now, which is like some dumb K-pop auto-tune crap I didn't really care about.
It's auto-tune, but it's like 95% Sayaka.
Yeah, too. See, it's objective. That's how I know. Amagami Hime, that song is just like forgettable. I liked it when it came out, but I haven't totally forgot about that song. Like,
Yeah, I totally forgot about that song too.
that was also mostly Sayaka solo stuff too.
It's like
thing about
Takane no
Amagami-
Ringo, where it's like something like in between two
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I was gonna say for me in Amagami Hime, like I didn't really like it at first, but then they kept playing it at the supermarket on Tsushima, and it got stuck in my head. I was like, oh, dude. Not even the full version, just like the instrumental, because I guess that's what they play in supermarkets.
Yeah. And then Boku wa Inai, I love Milky, but I'm not really big on ballads, it's kind of forgettable. And then Boku no Dariga Igai, whatever. That song's cool, but it's too hard to sing. the rap stuff, I can't. So basically,
You don't
like
the
my
Someone
criteria,
Like Me?
yeah, like my criteria for like, I'm basically a casual music fan, but my criteria is the song catchy? Is the chorus and melody, memorable enough where like, I'll be humming or whistling it to myself several months or even like a couple years from now, just randomly to myself. And yeah, also how easy is it for me to sing in karaoke? And so, What the People, I haven't sung it at karaoke yet, but I have a feeling I will be able to. So that's why it's my certified banger of 2017.
All right, nice. I kind of alluded to this earlier, but like I said, there's certain songs that are just like really hype concert songs. So like Durian Shonen is one of them. Kitagawa Kenji is another one of them.
Eevee's a girl.
And also,
Eevee's a girl.
Eevee's a girl's alright, I guess.
I love that song.
Yeah.
High five.
Anyway,
High five.
but they're just like certain songs that have like a certain energy to them. They're like really silly and yet really hype. And I think Wado to People is like one of them. And we haven't seen this for a long time. And I remember, I think like Ryan linked me to an interview. I think because he was salty that they made Sayaka talk about Ion or something. But also in that interview, Sayaka was like, "Oh, what kind of song do you want to see NMB do?" And she's like, "Oh, I want them to go back to like their really silly roots." Something like Kitagawa Kenji, and we get Wado the People, and I was like, man, dude, Sayaka knows what she's talking about. Like, this is a pretty good song, pretty hype, pretty funny, and like, I'm pretty sure if you go to a live event or a concert or something, it'd be like, it's just a song that you'd be really excited to hear.
Did you know that they're asking fans to use green pen lights for this song?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where I would begin to learn something like that in Los Angeles.
No. They're doing it in the theater. They're saying that they're asking the fans to change their pen light colors to green.
Does that mean you have to buy a new pen light?
No, most people have
Is that their plan?
multicolor.
The multicolor, yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Is there a special reason behind that?
Okay, so it's like Japanese memes. So basically, when you do the LOL in Japanese, right? It's wara, which is wara is to laugh, right? And then it turns into W because wara.
Oh, is it supposed to be grass?
Yeah, it's supposed to be grass. Daisogen.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, that's
Because
so
it looks
stupid.
like grass. So when there's a lot of W's, it looks like grass. That's why when they want it when they sing Warota People that there will be like a lot of grass in the field, basically.
Oh
That's
my
so
God,
deep.
That's so stupid. Obviously, me and Craig disagree on the significance of it.
I typed
I
the
think-
capital W's.
I think if I experience a concert with this song, it might go up. It might overtake Psycho for me for this year. The only reason I didn't choose What About the People is because I haven't been to a concert with What About the People, so I wouldn't know if it was fun or not. But I can predict that it will be really a lot of fun.
I know Andy said he went to
Theater show.
Yeah.
And he said it was super hype. So yeah, dude, can't wait.
Fuku's graduation concert. That's when you'll do it. That's when we'll hear it in a concert.
I am thinking of going to Japan in March. We'll see what happens then. But I would spend most of my time.
I guess they could do it at like Kohaku or something. The AKB Kohaku tomorrow or whatever.
I don't think so. Apparently they're gonna do like live singing the whole show tomorrow.
Oh,
I don't know about
disastrous.
I mean, it sounds
Request
terrible though. Like because you have to fake the thing, right? That you sing live. They can't really go out and say like, oh yeah, we're finally gonna sing live, because all those other times we were just lip syncing. They can't really come out and say that. So they've been trying to work around that by saying, oh, we have live bands and everything, and people are like really working really hard on their singing, blah blah blah.
Everybody works really hard. That's what they always say. Anyway, I don't want to segue into that. I want to move on with the awards. So next, we have the Yamamoto Sayaka Presents MVP Award of 2017.
Yay.
Basically, this award is given to who we think has brought. I wrote this in our outline. I said brought the most glory to NMB, but basically somebody who brings people into NMB or like brings them back. Not necessarily somebody that has like just accomplished a lot on their own, but also like spread the name of NMB. That's what I was going for this award. So, let's see, in this totally random order I came up with, the first award presenter is Jeff.
Alright, my Yamamoto Sayaka award goes to not Yamamoto Sayaka, but Yoshida Akari.
Ooh.
Yay.
So, I mean, starting from the NHK Kohaku, which technically was last year, but ended at like midnight. I mean, she got 6. No one saw that coming. And then from that, just cascaded. She had already been doing a year of YouTube, but then that just built even further. She drew even more fans. And then that culminated in getting into Senbatsu and Sosenkyo. And then she's just gotten, outside of AKB NMB, she's just gotten so much outside work in fashion, makeup, that kind of thing. And a few days ago, she got this beauty award where she's lined up with all these other famous celebrities like Maggie. And even she can't even believe how much she's accomplished over the past year. So she's really been the most accomplished member of 2017 to me.
Does anybody else have Yoshida Akari as their most accomplished member of 2017?
I do.
Yeah, me too.
Matt.
Okay. All right, me as well.
I'm the only one.
Oh wow. All right, who has some other comments that they'd want to interject first? Let's go with Ryan first.
Yeah. So going back to Jeff's point, yes. The award she won was like really big. Actually, it's like, so as background, like in Japan, they always have like these weird like awards at the end of the year, like the best genius. The dumbest one is the best genius award, where they give awards. So like a jeans company, I guess, like gives awards to people who wears their jeans the best, apparently. Anyway, there's always like those kinds of awards. So, like, everyone thinks they're dumb, but the thing is, like, the news actually covers them. So it's an opportunity to like give an award to a celebrity, and everyone loves awards, right? And then the celebrity gives interviews, and then it fills up like news time. So it's a self-fulfilling thing. But like, yeah, so this one is kind of big. Like, it's the best like beautyist award. So like the prettiest people in showbiz. And yeah, Akarin actually was with like a couple of models. It was really weird. Actually, it was really weird seeing her there. It's like, wow. So it's like within the idol world, right? Within the idol fandom, there's always like we recognize we're in our niche. Like we rarely cross over into the other side, like the really
The normal
mainstream.
world.
Yeah, the normal world.
It's a real life.
It's like Harry Potter. We have to go through the wall. But yeah, it's always like that. Like, I mean, I see Akarin on in the other lane all the time. She's always just standing there
lane.
waiting for people to come to her lane because no one comes to her. But she's like this like huge celebrity now. It's really weird seeing her like that. And I think like rather than looking at like sales or everything, it's like she's the one that has done the most to bring like 48 into like the mainstream this year, I think. So we can talk about like Sayaka, where I mean the other day she just did like a band performance with like really famous like musicians, and normally yeah you would choose Sayaka, right? But the thing is like we grade on a curve here, I guess. Because like yeah you could have imagined Sayaka doing that last year too anyway. So yeah, she's like this huge star. But I think like Akarin did the most to like pull herself up. It's ridiculous though, like how many people recognize her. So I remember watching Genkai Toppa special early this year. So they were like interviewing people, like random people on the street, like do you know NMB members, blah blah blah. And most of them were like, I don't really know NMB very much, but I know Yoshida Akari because I watch her videos.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's like wow. It's like she's made it, I guess.
I was kind of laughing when you mentioned how they give out these stupid awards because I remember like several years ago, Yamamoto Sayaka's father won the award for like best fathers.
yeah.
So I feel like it's appropriate that this is the Yamamoto Sayaka presents the MVP of 2017. Matt, you have anything to add?
I just want to say when Akarin got 16th in the Senbatsu Sosenkyo, I feel like that was a bigger thing than Miru ranking into Senbatsu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Miru is more or less like a shoe-in because there's no Sayaka. It's like, well, we got to have at least some kind of NMB representation. So the fact that Akarin got in there also, that's pretty big.
That was true. I remember when they were announcing. So the thing with Akarin is that you never know, right, where she's gonna go, because she always does really poorly in Sokuho preliminaries. She was like 30 something in preliminaries this year. So it's like wow, she's like much better than what her normal preliminary results are. So, but then you wouldn't be surprised like. Girls who get like 30 plus in preliminaries, they go all the way to like 70 or something, and you wouldn't be surprised at that. And then, like when it got to like under girls, and they were like, "Oh my god, they still haven't called Akarin. What's happening?" And then they got to like Riripon, right, which is 20. It's like, "Oh my, I think Akarin's gonna do this." And then it's like me. So I was watching with like some friends who were also like NMB fans, and we let out like a shout when like Mokaichi Mion got 17.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, Akarin's in.
Oh, wow,
Yeah, I think that was my loudest cheer moment of the whole Sosenkyo.
Yeah, not the other one.
No, not even Yuihan Kami 7.
No, I thought you were saying the Riripon interview.
Oh, I just didn't know what was going on there.
Well,
I cheered for Yuri getting the Undergirls Clement a free dinner from Ryan.
I wonder if that'll be your highlight of the year. Free dinner.
That's funny though.
I picked. I'm gonna say I picked Akarin too. I think one of the things that her YouTube videos have like had an extreme impact on like everything that's been going on with NMB. I mean, like you said at one of the other concerts that Hikakin appeared.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for like
Yeah.
Akarin, like, and he just randomly appeared, it'd just be weird, right? But because like she's good at YouTube, you have these things happen now. You have copycat. We have stuff like Yusha Anchu, which I don't think would be possible if like Akarin didn't have a YouTube presence. And now we have ID trying to do it. Lemon has one too.
SKE tried to get YouTubers to their concert.
Yeah, so like you could see that like this has a really really big impact, and I think it's what draws people into NMB. We mentioned Sayaka. The thing with Sayaka, and like I keep mentioning this, is that like to me it just feels like she's in the group like as like window dressing almost. Like, oh yeah, she's there. Yeah, let's just stick her like in the middle or whatever because we don't want her in the front. And like it doesn't feel like what she's doing like is actually like bringing NMB up. It's more like she's just promoting herself at this point, which I don't really get, but you know, whatever. And that's why I feel like Akarin beat her out this year, because by like capturing this like YouTube niche and like bringing those people like this, nobody even thought about this. Like, oh yeah, let's just like get the YouTube viewers into it. Like nobody even thought about that. And now she managed to like make it something for NMB. So I think that's why I gave her. That's not what I think. That's why I gave her the Yamamoto Sayaka Award of 2017.
What's amazing though is like how she started it. Do you guys remember how she started this thing?
Yeah, the Twitter 30-second videos.
Yeah, she was just doing like random makeup videos on Twitter, and apparently like a lot of girls like started following her because of that, because they wanted to learn how to do makeup, which inspired her to do the YouTube channel. It's kind of amazing.
But it's really really cool. I think I don't even watch these videos though. Like I have no. interest
I
in
tried
makeup.
watching it and like no.
I managed to watch it for like a year and a half, but I finally stopped a few months ago.
Oh my god.
I still
I only
zoom
watched the
through
one.
them from time to time
Yeah.
just to see if anything funny happens.
I watched the one with Sayaka.
Oh yeah. That
Apparently
one
a lot
has
of
Yeah.
like, an insane number.
I mean,
of views, though.
it's also good that she's bringing other members into it, because like especially that one like behind the scenes video of NMB she did. I think
Yeah.
a lot of these female fans are also becoming general NMB fans too.
That's true. It's also why they did the girls only section in the concerts. That's pretty much like 50% because of Akarin.
Yeah, the other 50% is probably Momoka.
Yeah, she's gone.
Anyway, Craig, you're the only one that has diverged from us four. What do you got for
So
us?
I'm gonna give my Yamamoto Sayaka MVP award to Yamamoto Sayaka.
How could you?
My reasoning behind this is, if I were to give it a basketball analogy, you know, objectively speaking, LeBron should probably win the MVP every year, but they're not going to give it to him every year because, you know, it's not interesting. But
I agree
he should
with that.
get it, so I am giving it to the person who should get it, in my opinion. But the reason behind it is, you know, she accomplished a lot this year. She had the solo album. She had her solo tour. Recently, I think she has the most followers on Twitter out of active members. Early in the year, she had her essay book. She had that Dreams Come True cover song. She bought a White Falcon.
Oh,
Yeah. And then,
Oh, that's an accomplishment.
and if you want to think about it too, you know, with Akarin during her whole YouTube thing, you know, the video with Sayaka easily outclips all the other videos that she did.
Mhm.
So that's why I gave her the award.
Okay.
Just think of,
Alright.
you know, I'm not a Republican, but if you think about it, it's a trickle down economics.
No trickle down. Oh my god.
we see how well
Get off the
trickle
show.
down works in the idol world.
You vote with the party line.
So if we take away like all the handshakes and just give them all the Sayaka, then surely it'll trickle down, right? I get it. She still is like number one. So, but I already said my piece, which was that like I don't feel like she's bringing in new fans. She's just like there, and like people that go to see her just only see her now.
I think
But-
that we can look at it the other way though. Is that, for example, let's say you remove her from NMB, will people leave NMB?
Like the group or like
fans.
as a fan of
Like for example, let's ask Matt. Matt's a big Sayaka fan. So let's say Sayaka leaves NMB. Are you still motivated to follow NMB after that?
Yes, but it's because there's like a couple members I still like relatively much. So I'll still support him. But like obviously my enthusiasm will be much lower than usual.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like it's gonna be really hard for NMB if Sayaka leaves. By the only reason that like NMB still gets like invited to like music shows and stuff like that is because they still have Yamamoto Sayaka.
Yeah, I mean, like I get that, but at the same time, it's like, it's. I don't want to get too deep into it. We still have 6 other awards to present, and we're already 36 minutes in about. So let's just move on. Sorry to cut the discussion short. We'll move on to our next award. Yamamoto Ayaka presents the Catlia MVP 2017. Basically, this award we give to the girl who we think the best girl in the Catlia group. So basically, draft first gen and onward. I feel like everyone keeps saying like, oh, like NMB has no future or whatever. So we might as well like take the time on our show to appreciate the girls that should be. I don't want to say should be, but that are the future of like NMB. Which is basically everybody that's kind of new. I mean, if you think about the 4th gen, they're already like 5 or 6 years old. So these are like, this is the lifeblood of like the future NMB. So if you leave when Sayaka graduates, then like you're gonna be missing out on these girls, and so on and so forth. So first presenter we have Matt.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't really follow like the young talent all that much because I don't want to be a lolicon. But
Oh man, like see, we should have had Andy here for this.
Yeah, he would totally not give it to Coconut.
Yeah, because he's not a pervert.
Call us a lolicon.
Which is
award.
cute, but he's not a lolicon.
Yeah. But I guess I'll give it to Jonishi Ray.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Overcompensating much, Matt?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Overcompensating.
So yeah, I'll just basically say she's following in her sister's footsteps with these gravure shoots. The latest one being like from earlier this week with manga action.
That one's like, oh my god.
Yeah. So it's like Sasaga Jonishi Shimai.
For people who don't know what we're talking about, boobs. Okay.
Boobs, body, like I
way.
mean, her older sister Ray Kay was voted like best body of all 48 group. Like that's why she got like that special like photo book and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, so they got good genes.
Before we dive into the discussion some more.
Oh, that's surprising. No one chose her.
Okay, I don't think it's actually too surprising because I think she has like this certain appeal, like, God, how do I describe it? She's like, I don't think she's following in the footsteps of Jonish K so much as she's following in the footsteps of Milky.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, I can see that.
She's like, if you like when I did the 5th gen handshakes, I remember she fishes you really, really hard. Like she like leans in and like stares like right in your eyes, kind of scary. It's like, whoa, back off, woman. But like she does that when she talks. She's very like she does have that same like kind of Milky appeal, and then she also does a lot of gravure. So I can see like people having these great expectations for Joni Shrey, and like I think she can continue to improve. Like she's doing very well. So I'm not surprised that like Matt would pick her. I don't know what Ryan's problem is.
What's your problem, Ryan?
No, I have no problem. I totally understand. She's actually like she's like far and away like the best seller out of everyone in Cattleya. Well, post Riripon.
Even better than Ayan or whatever.
No, like she like triples Ayan's score or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, her handshakes are like
Yeah, that's the thing.
Again, if you liked Miruki, you probably would like Joni Sue.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's much better than Keiichi at handshakes because she does erotsuri, which is a special form of fishing, where you do like how do you say this? There's a sexual connotation, I guess. So it's hard to say in English, but because she. So on my one time she was tweeting about saying like please come to my handshakes blah blah blah, and at the very end she says like mitsume ai masho, which is like you stare at each other, I guess that's how you say it in English. It's really weird thing to say even in Japanese, and I guess like people like that.
I really feel like if you like the fishing handshake, she's got it.
Yeah.
And like she's a lot newer, so like I know Miru's probably good at fishing people.
Yeah.
But like she's first gen, right? So if you want somebody like fresh, which is I guess happens in the idol world, you just throw out the old girls for the newer ones. Then like Joni Shrey is it.
That's true.
Yeah, I've yet to do a handshake with her, but I might consider it in the near future.
Yeah. Make sure you use that rubbing alcohol before and after.
Yeah. Keep it in my pocket.
The hand sanitizer. Alright, anybody else have any other comments? No? We're good. Alright, next we have Craig.
So for my Yamamoto Ayaka MVP award, it's gonna go to Iwata Momoka.
Oh, I thought it was gonna go to Yamamoto Ayaka.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice pattern, but I didn't think that one through. I like Mamoru. She's, I started to like her when I was somewhat translating the KKS show that they did on Kawaii TV, and she's like one of those members who you'd like to follow because they're not very good at anything, and they practice and they get better. So it's one of those you start to like root for her, and she talks funny, and she has like a cute smile. So I think big things are coming for her.
Well, this is her
Before we
first
continue,
That's right.
Before we continue, does anybody else have Iwata Momoka as their favorite member?
Yeah, I also picked her.
Oh, me too.
Oh, that's more than I expected.
Yeah. So what do you think, Jeff?
So she's definitely coming up right after like Jonichi Rei and Yamamoto Ayaka among the 5th gens, seeing that she, as we just mentioned, she just got into Senbatsu for Waroto People. And not only that, so I have to admit, I haven't really followed the 5th gens until this year. I didn't watch their show or anything. So I've only been slowly exposed to them this year through like the radio shows or the other TV shows. But yeah, Momorun stood out to me because some of the things Craig's mentioned, like her way of talking, her smile. But also recently she's tried really hard on Twitter with her like hand-drawn like instructions on how to apply for handshake events. And like her like visiting temples, like having such a weird quirky hobby for an idol. And she even got that YNN special on it called Hotoke, which was basically just her being like really relaxing for 90 minutes with like 3 other members. Yeah, right. And I guess I really have a thing for members from Kyoto.
R.I.P. Aika.
R.I.P.
I was thinking of Ripopo.
Oh, Yui Han's a big one.
Yeah, I know. So like I watched some of the documentary series. I think like I watched like 8 or 9 episodes. And I remember like one of the things is that like they said, oh yeah, she's not good at that many things, but she like really tries hard. And they'd have like all this footage of her backstage, like doing extracurricular practice of the dance routine and stuff. So it's like, that's like I at first I was like, oh yeah, that's like a character that we always see. You know, the person's that's not that good, but like always tries hard. But like when you like listen to her, like she's like really like the way she talks is funny, and like she just really like the dumbest things are like really funny with her, and I guess I like to describe her as moe because like that's the only time I ever use that word, which just saying it makes me feel disgusting. To like some extent, she reminds me of like Konomin, but without the weirdness. And like if you replace all the weirdness with like charm, then then you get like Momoru, and that's how I feel about her. And so I feel like it's a really interesting like niche to fill. I mean, even though I said like, even though I gave her the Yamamoto Ayaka Cat Leo award, she's not actually my favorite 5th gen member.
Same.
But like I could see her like being really really like instrumental to like the 5th gen and the newer generation. Anybody else have anything to say?
Poor Suzu.
Suzu's always my bro.
Yeah, I guess Momorune's the only 5th gen I've been to Handshake with. I only had one ticket with her, but like you said, it was just really charming, really relaxing in that 10 seconds. Like,
I heard she does
she talks.
I heard she does tsuri too. Is that true?
Kind of. So like she really leaned in, pulled my hand in, and like, oh, your Japanese is so good, that kind of thing.
I don't think maybe people just say she's tsuri just because of the way she talks. Like you could just imagine like if she wasn't really like that, you can imagine her faking to be like that.
I think.
Yeah, she's just.
Yeah, she's like well known among members as like the one that works the hardest apparently, and she was even she didn't get into Shonichi of Cattleya, which is amazing. Like she wasn't in Shonichi of all the theaters that she's been involved in. So like the original Kenkyusei stage and then Cattleya, she was never part of Shonichi.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, which is surprising, seeing how she like bombed that audition that badly.
That was terrible.
I'm just thinking like, oh, just like our other favorite member, Cattleya member, Storirika.
Yeah, actually.
She didn't make Shonichi. She didn't perform for like 9 months or something.
Oh, no, Ririka was actually removed from a performance in the middle of it.
Jesus.
Because she was so terrible. Like, I guess like Akira got really pissed off and like called her out.
It's okay because then she became center.
Yeah. And then Momorune's now Senbatsu.
Yeah.
It's amazing actually.
Alright, so last we have Ryan. What do you got for your favorite Cattleya member?
Yeah, so the thing is like I was trying to be really hipster about this. Like I knew everyone was gonna choose like either Rei or Momorune. So how do I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna give 2 answers.
Alright.
The first one is I'm gonna choose Post Yamada. So Azusa.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
So it's because like I feel bad for Azusa because she got like really she got like insta pushed and then insta depushed. It was really weird. So they could only do one person audition during that time because of the weird thing with like AKB, and then
and the draft too.
Yeah, and then the draft, and then that she could like thrive even under those kinds of that kind of pressure. Like I'm impressed actually. Like even with the draft members, at the very least you had like Doki, right? Doki, batchmates, like group mates. But she had no one. She was by herself, and then she got like really pushed when she started, and then she got depushed because I mean like she wasn't working or whatever, right? So that she like got through all that, and she does well in like the Cattleya in Kokoten right now, and then she got back in. She got dropped right for Masaka Singapore. and then she got back into Senbatsu for Warota People, and it's always like, I don't know. So I get the feeling with Azusa that she's like, there's a part of her that's like acting, I guess. Like there's a part of her that's fake. But the thing is, like, I can't put a finger on it. I don't know. Like, it's because it's possible that like she has that like super like positive attitude. She's like always happy. And she but the thing is, like, she's kind of a gal. That's why I don't really like gals. But yeah, and the thing is, my main reason for choosing her too is that one time I had 3 tickets that I didn't know whom to use on, and I used it on her, and she was like really good because I was I even introduced myself. Hi, I'm Yuri Oshi, and he's like, oh yeah, I really like Yuri, and then I was with like some Yuri fan friends too, and like, oh yeah, a bunch of us came to see you. It's like, oh, thank you. And then I told her that I was really happy that she's back in Senbatsu, and she was like, yeah, yeah, whatever. She says like the generic answer, right? Oh, thank you for supporting, blah blah blah. And she's like, oh, but like, even if you're not my fan, please come support B2 whenever you can, right? I thought that was like really mature of her. And
that's not what I got from her.
She was fishing me.
No, I'll get into it.
But
later.
yeah.
But
so I that's why I chose Azusa, I guess, because she's the one that I think has done the best out of the of Cattleya, and especially with the poor conditions that she started with, versus like 5th gen has been like very very blessed. They have like the TV show and YNN and everything, and then but like the draft 1, 2, and Azusa didn't get any of those. So yeah, that was my one answer, and the other is actually Kojirin. And you got to be impressed. I could differentiate her from Rikati.
Well, I don't know. It depends what your answer is. You'd be like, oh yeah, she's really good at playing the guitar. It's like, hey man.
No, it's because so this week actually, like they announced like during the last theater that Kojirin actually did like 9 shows in 7 days.
Yeah, because they had the girls stage and the birthday on the same day, and then I don't know what the other one was.
Yeah, there was another one.
So
So
she would
basically,
have to do like all the stages, like not all of it, but I mean all the different ones, right? For every team.
yeah, basically.
Basically, yeah, a lot of the 5th gens are doing that.
They technically they were like under girls for the per team, right? And then they had their own thing too. And then that just continued even after they were promoted.
I feel like she's only doing it because she's like the biggest NMB fangirl of all time.
That's
So
the
she
thing,
can see
though.
Kokona.
That's the thing. Like whenever like girls say like, "Oh yeah, I was a big Wota," like I always like alarm bells always ring in my head. It's like, no, that's not true.
Well, I mean, that was not true for probably Ridika.
Right? She was like, "Oh, I'm a big fan. Oh, I understand how Wota feels." Blah blah. But whenever people say that, I always get really really weirded out.
When I think of NMB Wota, like before Kojirin, I thought of Yamaurina.
Yeah.
Because I remember she made her own outfit, like was it like the Coco? Not was it Kokoten or like Virginity or something to like
It was
shake
Virginity.
hands with Yamada Nana.
Yeah. They even had a picture
Oh,
of it.
man.
Like it was like going around like a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Anyway, so you got Kojirin, you got
Azusa.
Azusa. I don't know why we want to call her Uemura Shu. Like I don't know where Shu comes from. I feel like I know like an Uemura Shu or something like that.
That's a brand. I think
Yeah, it's a clothing brand.
Jesus Christ. I don't even know what clothes, if it's like a girl or whatever. Anyway. Any comments on these two girls from anybody else? Because Ryan's been talking for like 10 minutes straight. We need to take a break. I guess if I was gonna talk, like I think Azusa's really really good with Katlia because, like you said, like she didn't have any buddies, so like I think it took a while, but like her best buddy became like Takesara,
Yeah.
and
I love Azusa.
you could see. But like when you watch like the Katlia stage, you see like Azusa shine when she's like not under the pressure of like post Yamada or like old Team M, yeah. So like I don't know, I feel like she looks so much better when she works with Katlia than she does like with her. Well, B2's pretty cool, but like with her old team like Team M, like she just seems to like so much more like freer and like more open, and I think it's like great to watch.
I think it's because she came in with like a lot of pressure, and you got to admit, right? Like these are like a bunch of girls, right? So you're gonna have like jealousy within, especially like when she came in, she was automatically Team M. She didn't even go through Kenkyusei, and during that time there were Kenkyusei.
Well, I feel like Team M, the old Team M, was really really weird when I think about it. But yeah. Anybody else have any other comments with like Kojiden or Azusa?
I guess we should move on.
No, we can just move on. Seems like no one cares about that. I do like Kojiden. I feel like she's like the what's her name, Kishinorika of her generation. The Kishinorika, the Malkyun, the Anton, like somebody that's like a really stable presence that helps other people out. It kind of sucks because, like, well, I mean, like she's also good at handshakes too. So unlike,
unfortunately for her, I think she's gonna be like the Nakagawa Hiromi of this generation, which is she's gonna be like
I don't think so.
The ultimate theater girl.
I think she's really really good at handshakes. So I think that's gonna be the key difference between her and like the like Malkyun and Anton.
Might have a point. I think she does like 5th best, I think, or 6th best of all 5th gen, I think, in handshakes, in sales.
Alright. Yeah, let's just move on to the next award. Next award is the James Kaneko Award. Favorite show or media of 2017. I know not a lot of us watch TV shows, so I'm not expecting this segment to be that good, but we'll find out. Basically, like, was there like a favorite show that you liked in 2017, or something like like a YNN special that you really liked, a YouTube channel? Yeah, let's go straight into it. The first presenter is me. Oh God. So my favorite show this year was Yusha Anchu. Basically, after July when I came back from Japan, I kind of like stayed away from NMB as I tried to get my life together. It's still not together, but it's more together than it was before. And Ryan's like, "Oh yeah, you should get back into NMB." I'm like, "Nah, man, it's okay. I need to work on real life." He's like, "No, just watch the show of like Anchi playing Dragon Quest 2." I was like, "She's playing Dragon Quest 2." Like, God, dude, Dragon Quest 2 sucks. The game is so annoying. Like, like my friend came from Japan and we just spent like hours like bitching about what a terrible game it was. But like, I was watching her play. She's like really interesting when she plays. Like there's a monster called the Metal Slime. When you kill the Metal Slime, it's like really hard to kill and you get a lot of experience and you're like really happy. But like, when I see it, it's like, oh man, ran away again, whatever. When you watch Anju play, she like gets really excited. It's like, oh man, what are we gonna do? Like, and she's like yelling at her teammates when they don't hit it and stuff. And it's just like, man, that's like all my emotions if I actually acted upon them. So I think that's like super cool to watch. And then also because of her, I finally beat Dragon Quest 2, and I hope to never play that game. That's one of my favorite show of the year is Yusha Anchu. Anybody else have Yusha Anchu as their favorite show?
I actually do have it, but more specifically, the Mario Odyssey part of Yusha Anchu.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
Okay.
So it's a different series. It's like Super Anchu. Anchario, I think. I think it's Super Anchario or whatever.
Okay, then let's discuss
Anchurio.
later.
Yeah.
That sounds so terrible. But it's okay. Why don't we move on to you guys? Why don't we have Matt talk because Ryan talks too much. about Anshu Odyssey.
Okay, yeah, Super Anshu Odyssey. Yeah, so basically, I chose that because I actually played Mario Odyssey, beat it, and so it's always fun to watch like other people, more or less rather like famous people, play games you've already played because you know it, so it's interesting to watch how they play it. And so you watch Achu play Mario. Like, one of the first things she does is jump off the edge and kill herself. And she's like, why did I die? And, like, I mean, some of it is like, is she, like, playing it up for the camera, or is she just literally just that bad? Because, I mean, you see it when the Yusha Anshu, like, I'm going to grind for levels with only, like, 5 HP left. And then dies. So it's like...
The thing is, even if she's playing it up,
yeah,
she's still really good at playing it up. Like, there are some people, like, if you watch other streamers, like, they try and play up, like, their anger, and you're just like, no.
It's, like, very similar to the Game Center GX, or CX with Adino. If you ever watched the Japanese show.
Yeah.
Like, I think also he's not actually playing it up either. I think, he's just also just kind of bad at games.
Yeah. But, like, that show, it's like, oh, yeah, you're cheering for him because, like, you know, he's not that good, but, like, oh, man, he's going to beat Mega Man 2 or whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah, that. It's just she's only done 2 episodes of that so far. I'm not sure if she has any plans to continue it or if she's going to wait to finish Dragon Quest 2 and then focus on Mario, which, I guess tomorrow she's doing a YouTube live from noon until, I guess it says until she beats the game, basically.
Well, now you just dated us.
Of Dragon Quest 2. Of Dragon Quest 2. Yeah, so...
So when I did it, it took me like 2 hours, and that's playing on an emulator with speed up. And she didn't even beat the cave to get to the last area, which is also like a bitch and a half. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I haven't watched...
with that special.
I have no idea where she is exactly in the game. Like, the last 2 episodes, she had Fu and Heidi on her team. Which there's...
That cave that she did with those two was like... That is one of the worst dungeons ever. Like, it's almost... If the worst dungeon in the series is the cave to the last area, which is where she's going to go into, the second worst dungeon in the series is the one she just cleared with Heidi.
Yeah, that one was really funny, because it's like... She's all like, okay, I get ready for this boss battle. You know, I'm like healing up all my HP and MP. And then it talks to the thing, and then just gives her the item. And it's like... What?
Oh yeah. No, that is the item that you need to access like the last dungeon or whatever. In the original game, it's just a treasure chest.
Yeah.
But in the Super Famicom, they made it like its own item. And then I remember you had a theory. I don't know if it's accurate or not. That the reason why we're not seeing any more Mario Odyssey is because of Nintendo.
Nintendo copyright being dumb or whatever.
It might be. Damn Nintendo. But then I see a lot of Mario Odyssey videos anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't think it could be that bad.
She wants to get that YouTube money.
Donkey has his videos now.
But the thing is, like, all the YouTubers, like, just, like, crap on Nintendo because of the copyright stuff. So, yeah. Anyway.
Alright.
Yeah, Anshu Mario. Yeah.
Well, the only thing I can add is that I actually haven't played Mario Odyssey, and watching her play it just makes me really, really want a Switch.
Well, is it? It might be because Odyssey is a really good game.
That too.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course, probably it's a good game, right? But I didn't have any intentions of like getting a Switch or anything. But just watching Anshu play, it's like made me like really, really want one.
It's kind of funny because my older brother, who moved out and he has his own family and stuff, he has a Switch, and I think one time he left his sons over at like our family house to like babysit him while he went to work, and so like they brought the Switch because his sons really like playing. And I'm like, oh cool, I finally get to play Mario Odyssey, and then like his sons like just play the entire time, and it takes them like 2 hours to get one moon, and they're like having the time of their life. And I was like, oh okay. And I was like, oh maybe you guys should take a break. You know, okay, you know, and they go off and they like go eat. And it's like, oh finally it's my time to play. And then my other brother starts playing. It's like, okay, I guess I'm never gonna play Odyssey now.
You could have played 2-player with the dumb one person plays as a hat.
No, But yeah, I think as a video game streamer, she's actually pretty good. because they're I don't know how many other people watch video game streamers, but some people don't do it very well, and I don't do it very well. I've tried.
I don't do very well.
Yeah, no one watches my my Factorio playthroughs.
I just want to say that I really like it when she talks to everybody. It's really, really funny and really cute.
Like she talks to the characters.
Yeah,
in
she
the
talks
game,
to the
not-
characters. Hello!
Oh yeah. I wonder if that's our influence.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
I'm just being.
Well, because she always does like the see you whenever she signs off of her video.
All right, let's move on. So, Craig, what do you got for us?
So my favorite show, I guess I don't know if this technically counts because it started in 2016, but it finished in 2017. Was the YNN drama, the Kisaten Girl?
Ah.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
I should have
So
chosen
you
that
gotta,
one. I should have gone Homer and chose that one.
I know you should have.
you gotta tell us. You gotta tell us more.
I mean,
about
so the basic premise is Yuri's the main character. She gets a job at this little cafe out in the middle of nowhere, and it turns out, and then it's with Riripon and Naru's in there too, and it turns out that they're robots. So she's trying to teach them how to be human, things like that. But it's like every other wine, like it's kind of like Nusan, where it's just so out there, and it's just like so ridiculous that it was just I found it really like entertaining and charming. So that was my favorite one of the year.
Anybody else have any other comments? Was that Jeff's pick also?
No, it
Probably
wasn't.
not.
I only watched the first episode, but I need to get around to that. I have a huge backlog of way too much stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know much about that show. I haven't even watched Nusan either. So yeah, I think the only episode of Nusan I watched was when they became anime for some reason.
That was
They
the
went to the other
Sayaka
dimension.
cameo.
Oh, yeah.
The highest rated episode of Nusan.
Probably. Had 5 seconds of Sayaka.
Ryan, you got anything to say about this?
Yeah, so this drama, I guess, as with Nusan, as Craig said, right? It's really relaxing. Like there's basically no point to it. Basically, you watch it because, I mean, no one's getting killed, no one's getting kicked out of their house, no one's like falling in love, breaking up, or whatever. It's just like, it's
No one's getting killed. Oh yeah, that sounds excellent.
no. It's the slice of life genre, right? It's really hard to explain to like foreign people, but it's like,
Well, slice of life works now.
does it? Anyways, so it's like 10 minutes of nothing. But the good thing about the interesting twist in Saten Girl is that like Riripon and Naru are like robots who don't know human emotions. And so every episode, it's like Yuri has to teach them something, right? Whether it's to understand what spicy means, or what Christmas is. So they always just get in like really dumb situations, and then they just like, and it gets resolved like really fast.
There are some twists too, so that keep it a little interesting.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
maybe
like
I'll
last
check
2
it out.
episodes.
Maybe I'll check it out, but I gotta watch the Yodogawa catch ball.
Yeah, that one's not YNN, by the way.
Yeah, well, it's not like I'd watch it on YNN anyway. Not that I'd recommend you do anything against the law. Yeah. Okay, Jeff, what do you got for us?
Alright, I got NMB to Kataru-kun,
Oh.
the Manabu-kun spin-off episode. So I thought it was really cool to hear some of the behind-the-scenes stories with the members. And then the whole point of this show was hearing like their senpai, like comedians from Yoshimoto, also talk about how they see NMB and what they like about NMB. Especially with Kamai Tachi, the host of Manabu-kun, who I think have a really good rapport with the members. Yeah, so I like Manabu-kun a lot, but then this spin-off episode was particularly memorable, and I hope they do something more like this.
I know Craig probably watched it. Craig, what do you got to say about it?
I just found it sad when Tamu-ken, he hosted docking with them way back in the day.
Oh my god, dude!
He was basically
bringing it back.
He was basically like, "Yeah, I don't know anything about you guys anymore."
Yeah.
Fuchan wasn't there.
No.
Fuchan's watching. Always watching. It sounds like Monsters Inc., but it's not. Any other comments? I haven't seen it personally, so I don't really know what to say. I'm only starting to get back into Manabu-kun. I only watched the last one because it's about Amano Namie,
Oh yeah.
who somehow manages to get younger as she grows older.
It's Benjamin Button.
So yeah, any other comments about Kataru-kun?
Just a short thing. Kataru-kun was a spin-off of Manabu-kun, and it was mostly used to promote the charity event that NEB did in Kyocera Dome.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was they actually showed them making the diorama, the toothpick diorama.
Yeah.
And anyway, a lot of it was like tying into what they were gonna do in Kyocera Dome, which was really interesting.
Yeah, and if I had actually gotten around to watching the charity event show, I probably would have picked that.
Yeah, I was the only one there, by the way. Like nobody went from the people from us.
It'd be funny if you were like the only one there. Like, oh jeez.
No, I think
Yeah, I
NMB
know.
got like 30,000 people to go.
Yeah.
I forgot why I couldn't go.
I think I had an
maybe
event that day.
Timing was bad. I remember, like Andy had work, so he couldn't go. But yeah. I remember you came, like Ryan came in like 5 a.m. or something and like camped out or whatever.
No, I stood in line.
Oh, much better.
Yeah,
Semantics.
yeah. You have to ask me what time was gates open though to make it sound even more stupid.
No, I mean, I woke up at 4 a.m. to go to Universal Studios, Japan. So I don't imagine going to Kyocera Dome is any different.
But it was a
Also,
really fun event.
that was a grave mistake with the Universal Studios. I don't want to talk about it. But
Yeah, you brought it up.
my advice is if you want to go to Universal Studios Japan, don't go during spring vacation. Worst idea you could ever have. Okay, let's move on to the 5th award. I think Ryan said he had a classy way to introduce this. Why don't we let him do it?
What? I'm gonna do it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't remember what you wanted me to say.
So, like Mayuyu's face when Riripon made her marriage declaration, it's the Spotlight Stealer Award of 2017.
Yay!
Yay!
So Spotlight Stealer Award is the award that we're gonna give to the member who is not your Oshi man, but who you who grabbed all the attention from you this year. So basically, like your favorite member that's not your Oshi. That happened in 2017. I don't know if that made it any more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Your favorite, not favorite
Okay,
member.
So actually, in the last award, I was supposed to have Jeff go before Craig. I made a mistake, so we'll have Jeff go before Craig this time. We'll start off with Jeff.
Okay, so my spotlight member is Ota Yuri.
Ooh.
This is a pretty subjective pick. I mean, she started being really pushed throughout last year, but to me, she really caught my attention this year. I think she works really well in B2, and now she's like solidly in the second row of Senbatsu. I always enjoy her whenever she appears on shows. So like, I just didn't really know about her before, but her impression has really grown on me this year.
What does Ryan have to say about solid second row?
It's not solid second row, it's solid second position.
Oh.
Get your back straight.
Also, does anybody else have Ota Yuri as their spotlight stealer? No. Okay.
Traitors.
Anybody else have any other comments?
I started going to see her this year because of Ryan.
I remember joking with other people like, oh yeah, whenever like Ota Yuri tweets, like I know I'm gonna see it because Ryan's gonna tweet it, so I see it twice.
I started following her on Twitter. That's how big it is.
I do think she's had, for some reason, like I can't point to any like single thing where you're like, oh yeah, it's because of that she got more popular, which is really weird.
No, it's basically she was never like pushed hard. It's always like, we're gonna give you a little bit and then let's see how you go, and then she starts selling better and then gets more and more attention, and then they give her more, and then it went from there. But then yeah, as you said, there was never really any like big thing like that caused like everybody to start noticing her, which is I guess a good thing because it shows that she has room for growth and that she is growing. But I wish there was some like big thing. Maybe Request R? I don't know.
One thing I noticed about her is that I really don't like her smile. Like when she laughs, I'm just like, oh, this is weird. Anyway, that's just me. And since we do have a Ota Yuri Oshi, we'll just leave this alone for now. Move on to the next person, Craig.
So my Spotlight Stealer award goes to the actual Spotlight Stealer, Lily Pong.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Well, I really I actually started to like her like more towards last year. It's just because she talks really well. You know, I always felt that she would be a good person to kind of lead the group whenever they go on like music shows or any type of show like that, because she does well at talking and she knows she can kind of guide everyone. And then the thing happened. But
the thing.
So I mean, I'm basing my opinion on the first half of the year. Although after she left, she's been doing a lot of variety shows and she's really funny. She says a lot of funny things. So
yeah, I'm kind of torn on like the whole report thing because, like you, I thought she had pretty high expectations, right? Because she had a very unique way of speaking. No one else could match it, I think. Is what I thought. But then, like, Nagisa seems to be doing a really good job for some reason.
Oh no, she's doing a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then, like, I really feel like that whole marriage announcement at Sosenkyo was just like, I don't know. I can't think of anything that would piss anybody off more. And then, like, the fact that she's really funny on her variety show appearances, but at the same time, she's just like, the reason why people want her is so she could shit on her fans some more. And I just, oh man, I'm so conflicted.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. I really don't like that she shits on her fans, but I'm happy for her success. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It's like if I wasn't if I wasn't an NMB fan, I would think she's really funny and cool because she didn't shit on me. But she did.
I always think of it this way though. As a fan, it's like you go in with you should go in with certain expectations and certain realities about it, and that the realities get exposed. It shouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, but there's certain timings to it. It shouldn't be so Senkyo. When people, that's like the worst timing ever.
I agree with that. That was a little bit in poor taste, but it was
a little bit.
It was impactful.
That's the peak of poor taste.
And maybe it didn't bother me that much because I didn't actually get to see it live. I was sitting on the Narita Express on my phone with the signal kicking in and out.
I think I was asleep.
Did anyone watch it live?
Yeah, I watched it live.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so
I was just like,
maybe the live reactions were different. So what was your reaction, Jeff and Matt?
I was just waiting, like, okay, when is she gonna say this is a joke? When is she gonna say this is a joke? And then it ended, and she didn't say it was a joke.
Yeah,
I was just confused.
if you watched like Sayaka's showroom while it was happening, she had the exact same reaction. She was like, "Oh, so is she saying that she wants to marry her fans? Haha, Ririka." And that was exactly Sayaka's reaction.
Yeah, just anyway, maybe we should move on.
Oh, I just want to say,
right.
Ripon was like, after like, assuming like Sayaka was going to graduate soon, like Ripon was like my probably upcoming ace, like my love choice for the next ace. So under different circumstances, she was the chosen one. But she betrayed us. She pulled a Anakin Skywalker.
Did you have the high ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. No, I was watching from afar. I was like Emperor Palpatine, just watching.
I remember she'd talk about like rap a lot. I was like, oh, dude, I want to get a handshake ticket. Now we can like rap to each other. That'd be funny. No, but then like after that happened, I'm like, nah, forget it.
Well, she had like extra security and the camera and all that stuff. So
That was funny.
Just rap to Joe instead.
You should describe that, Matt. Like how her lane looked.
Well, actually, because I didn't go to it personally, I only saw it from a distance. Yeah, but it's like she had, I think, one extra OG. Like she had an OG-san and maybe an extra one, or 2 or 3 extra staff people. And then there was a camera in the corner inside her booth, pointing like towards like the outside, like towards like the fan, just like I guess as a precaution in case anyone like came to do something.
I mean, you did just shit on their whole.
Yep.
It was kind of weird, yeah. Looking at her lane from the other lanes, it's like it was kind of, I don't know, it was just weird.
It was a very different atmosphere compared to like the other ones.
It was just like there was a cloud around that lane.
Yeah, I mean, but because like if you were to stand in that line, it's like, dude, she just shit on you. Like, why would you go support her again? Like, oh jeez.
That Bill M in me.
Okay, let's move on to the next. Ryan, what do you got for us? Spotlight stealer.
I'm actually gonna answer Momoka.
Oh,
Kinoshita Momoka.
Ooh,
not Iwata.
Not Iwata Momoka.
not Hayashi Momoka.
Not Hayashi Momoka. Man, we have a lot of Momoka. I think we this year, like NMB tried to pivot really hard to appeal to female fans. So we discussed this in the Yamamoto Sayaka Award, that Akarin was like a very big reason that NMB is becoming like well known with female fans. I think like, so I even said like 50% was because of Akarin. Yeah, and the other 50% was because of Momoka. It was really weird because like Momoka always started as like the weird girl, right? She was, even during Naniwa Nadeshiko, she was wearing like the weird cosplay and stuff like that. And she's always like marched to her own drum, I guess. So suddenly like she got sick and she comes back and she's like a dude. And she
I don't know if I would say that.
no, she was like she was going.
She changed her makeup style. And
yeah. She was more kakoi, right? And but then other than that, I thought that her support to Sayaka was like really important. If you watch like concerts and stuff, right? Like the ones who would take over MCs was always like Sayaka and then Momoka. So she had a way of like making stuff more interesting. Like even so during the summer concert, I think everyone saw this because it got released as a web clip on GG Press or something. It was when they gave Ririka the chance to say goodbye to everybody, and it was getting really awkward. And then Momoka just like cut in and say, yeah. We don't really care about you apologizing. I don't care, to be honest. I don't care if you apologize to me because I'm sick of hearing you apologize. I've seen you apologize like 100 times now. And then what I want to know is like, so I actually got really nervous where Momoka was taking it, because it seemed like she was like shitting on Riripon like right then and there. But of course I knew she was gonna take it back, right? But she took it back like really elegantly. She said like, what I want to know is like if you love NMB and if you want to be successful, if you're gonna be successful for NMB, blah blah blah. And I thought it was pretty good. So, but I felt really sad knowing that because Momoka was leaving, and it was like, well, the hole she left is like really really big. So I'm not saying that like other graduations didn't leave a big hole, but I think like Momoka was like so unique that I don't think anyone can like take over. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
She did have that appearance on that one TV show that like broadcast at like 2 a.m. or something with Malkian. I don't know if you saw that. I think it was like yesterday or something.
She has like the anime show on Kawayan or something.
Yeah, maybe it was that. I don't remember, but whatever. But when she came back, I did have a handshake with her, and I remember like in the lot, like I was like trying to find out trying to get more material for some of the other rewards we were doing. So I was like reading like an old thread, and I remember I read the thread where I went to visit Momoka. I remember I wrote there that like it felt like I didn't have a lot of time because I only had like one ticket, but also because there were probably like all these attractive girls behind me.
Win the Ikemen Award.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember when she did the AKB handshakes. They have like the special like event things, right? You can do. So what Momoka did was it was really funny. She did like a kabedon kai.
Oh yeah.
But then she only does kabedon for
basketball.
For girls. For guys, it's a high touch, I think.
I think my friend Adrian, he went and saw her during that, and I guess she slapped him on the back.
He's a bro.
Good job.
Yep.
He did.
If only it was American sports and he can get a slap on the butt.
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna say if Priority released this year, that would have been my song of the year.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Alas, it was not. Okay, let's move on. Who's next? What top is this?
Joe.
5?
Yeah.
5. Okay, next is me.
Woo!
Oh, okay. What is it? My Spotlight Stealer Award goes to Anshu. That was pretty. I mean, I already said Yusha Anshu is my favorite show, but like when I watch her in theaters, I think she's so much better than she was before. During her time on like Gainin 2, like she'd be really loud, but she would be like really hit or really miss, and it was sometimes really really awkward. Because like when you're loud and you miss, it's just like, ugh. And then they did the shuffle, right? So they broke up original Team B2, and then she went to Team N. I don't think she ever found her way with Team N. Like I honestly don't. She was like when she was loud, it just seemed out of place. So even if she was like a hit, it's just like no one really like supported her. And then now that I'm watching stages again, like I watch B2, and she's really really good with B2. Like the awkwardness is reduced. Like she's not just loud for the sake of being loud anymore. She has really good chemistry with like almost everybody on the team when she does MCs. And she like kind of controls it really well. And so that's why I picked Anshu as my Spotlight Stealer Award. And also handshake events, but we'll get to that later, maybe. Yeah. Alright, anybody else have any opinion?
I also picked her as my breakout member. Yep.
I hoped you would.
That was nice timing on your random generator to put us back to back at the end. Yeah, she's my breakout member because I didn't know who she was until I watched that Dragon Quest video at the end of last year. And then after that was like December. So from this year on, I started going to her handshake events. So I think the first time I went and saw her was when we back in March when we did that Gaijin train on her.
Sounds so bad.
Yeah, we ran a Gaijin train on her.
Yeah, let's revise that a little bit.
So it's like Andy's idea is like, hey, we should all buy tickets for Anshu on this day in March. So there's like him, Ryan, Joe, me, Rona, and then also the British guy.
David.
Was Jason there too?
No,
I think Jason went.
there.
No.
No,
Yeah, it's like 6 or 7 of us, I think.
Yeah.
And like he was like, Andy was like, hey, I brought some foreigners with me. These are my homies. Please, so, please call him homie every time we come in. He's like, homie, homie, and she's like screaming, I love you, I love me, you know.
Yes, you did do that.
Got like the quintessential Aunt Anchu handshake, which is basically her screaming and spazzing out, which is always fun. And so yeah, basically I became a fan of her just because like, oh yeah, she plays all these video games, and so I like talking to her about video games when she's not screaming. So usually I can't really get a whole lot of conversation with her because I'm just laughing constantly.
Does she still call you Yangus?
No, that was like, I think she forgot.
But if it's her, like, I feel like if she forgets, I mean, I'm pretty sure she forgets what happened, like, the last minute.
Yeah. It was literally like the next day, though, like, 'cause I was about like a 2-shot with her the next day. Uh-huh. And she's, youngest. So she didn't remember me youngest, but I'm like, hey, yes. And then, yeah, but then there's like a long break since then. Yeah, because we were talking about how she's playing Mario on the Switch, and so I was like asking, what other Switch games do you want to play or even get? It's like, I got Splatoon, but I suck at it. And then I was like, maybe you should try Zelda, but that game's really hard. It's like, yeah, I probably won't play that. It's too hard.
How about Golf Story?
That game's alright.
Is it even available in Japanese?
No.
It's an Australian game.
No, I don't think, not yet. Yeah.
Okay, well, good pick. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody know what's going on with their theater company? I don't know what the whole musical thing is. Like, frankly, I don't really care because like every time they talk about like musicals and stuff, like, she's in a musical.
She's
like,
producing. She's producing it, I think.
Yeah, basically.
Or that was a play
like
she produced.
Do you know the name? It's like Azuma something. I don't remember.
Yeah,
the
something
name.
like that. Yeah. Something like katakana or random romaji, I think.
I just remember it means like the sealed room or something, or the room that will never be entered, something like that.
Oh. Yeah.
Huh?
Well, she's always been, so I guess for background, right? She's always been like the theater girl. I mean, literally theater, not.
She's a theater kid.
Yeah. She really likes theater plays. And she always talks about it. Like, I went to watch this play. It was so awesome, blah, blah, blah. And she's done like 2 or 3 plays now.
Uh-huh.
And she even has a weekly column. A weekly or monthly, I'm not sure. But it's her talking with random like theater people. So she has a corner in like some magazine.
Okay.
And yeah, so I forgot when they announced it. This was like the summer concert or the arena tour, one of those. They announced that Anchu was gonna be producing a play. So she's gonna be setting up a new theater company, which is that one, the Azuma, whatever. And then she's gonna be producing it. So she's gonna run the auditions and blah 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 blah.
I thought they already completed the audition.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they did.
Did they? Ah, okay.
So like Naru is one of them.
Yeah. But apparently, she actually invited like Rinachi and the other girl, the Airi, and Megumin too, because they were like the other girls who were interested in theater, right? But apparently, Rinachi and Airi had their own play, so they couldn't join her, and Megumin was quitting anyway.
Well, I mean, like, I remember reading, like, oh man, this cast list is, like, really good for a musical. I was like, I guess. Like, I don't watch musicals. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so there's that to look forward to. Okay, let's move on to the next award. Before, we didn't miss anybody, right?
No, I don't think
Everybody said their piece. Oh no, I feel like Craig fell asleep because he wants to watch basketball or something.
It was just this highlight of Klay Thompson getting dunked on.
No. All right.
That's every other game.
Okay. So next we have the Asian Father Meme Award of 2018. Basically, the member who you have the highest expectations for in 2018, based on I guess what they did this year. So let's start. Number 6 is, or who do we start with? We start with Ryan. Ryan, what you got for us?
Okay, so my Asian Father Meme Award for 2018 goes to Kokona.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just think she's pretty. I'm not a lolicon. That's for you.
I said,
That's for you. Andy.
first is Ryan, not.
It's channeling
No.
himself.
I think she's growing up well. I don't know how to say that in a non-creepy way.
I think she's rounding out.
No, I think because the member we talked about like Momorun, right? Like how she's like progressed and of course Momorun has like progressed like really well. But I think like Kokona is the one that considering where she started from, I think she's like the one that has like grown the most out of all the 5th gen. Because she does like the weird, that she does like the GGS magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of like the old Mocha Shimbun and Mocha magazine.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
look where that got her.
old.
Yeah, look where that got her. So negative, Jeff. No. But like Kokona's like she's selling well. I think she's selling as much as Ayan is selling. I think, which is pretty impressive considering the amount of push the other one is getting. And yeah, I think she's gonna grow up to be really pretty. She was actually chosen to be part of the fashion senbatsu for like Heather. There's a fashion brand called Heather, and they did like an NMB thing where the NMB members were wearing their clothes and they pushed them. They put it on their blog or something, and then Kokona was actually part of that. And I think like management recognizes what they have, and then they recognize that she's one of those like late bloomer types. So I think she has a lot to grow in the next year, I think.
All right. Does anybody else have Kokona as their Asian Father Name Award? That also sounds funny. Kokona, Asian Father Name. Doesn't really calculate. The thing is, when I watch the stages, like Kokona is like really like awkward and bad. Not in terms of like performance. I don't care. Everybody's pretty mediocre in performance, but like if you watch like MCs, it's like she doesn't really want to be there. And I think it's kind of it's endearing in its own way, but I don't know how far irony will last in this entertainment industry. I feel like people like things to be like hipster. I don't know how far that will take Kokona right now. Right now, I don't see her really improving that much, honestly, because I feel like that's her thing. I don't know. It's kind of complicated.
I kind of feel like she was worse before, so I think she's improving.
Right? I think she has though. But
Because like when I watched the Katlia stage, right, and like she's in the MC, and then like they asked like, oh yeah, like today's theme is whatever, and then everyone's hey, and it's like, all right, who's gonna answer the first one? And every time I look at Kokona, she just like stares away from like whoever's talking. She doesn't want to be picked. Like it happens like every time. And I'm just like, this is so like obvious that she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't want to be called on, and then this is like it's funny in like class, right? You're just like, oh, who knows the answer? You're like, oh, please don't pick me, but like. When it's the MCs and you're supposed to be pandering for people's attention, it's just like, oh man, it's so awkward. So in one respect, it's funny, but in the other respect, like, I don't really see the potential at the moment.
hasn't it become a running joke there, where they always go like, oh, I'm gonna choose the Kokona who seems like she doesn't want to be chosen.
It might be, but she always makes those reactions, and I don't think it's on purpose. Anybody else have any other comments? No? Alright, so for Asian Father Meme Award for Ryan goes to Kokona. Next we have Matt. Who you got for us?
I chose Miru.
Wow.
So I would say like if 2017 is the year where Sayaka passed the torch to Miru, 2018
Mike.
the mic or torch, the mic torch,
Mic.
yeah, the golden mic to Miru. Then 2018 is gonna be the year where she runs it, and basically kind of like establishes her role as like more like the new face of NMB. Basically trying to fill as much space, do as much damage control for when Sayaka eventually graduates. So I could say if they decide to do like more than like one single next year or something, then I could still see like Miru being the center.
Do you have any other like grander expectations, like where she would take being the center and like make it her own? Do you have anything like that?
I guess maybe make it more of her style, like something that kind of showcases Miru's character, I guess, or
Like,
I don't know, like her like fishy, sexy nature. I don't know.
All bikini MVs.
All bikinis, all the time. All gravure music video.
So I'm sorry, but that's the only thing I can think of when you talk about Miru, though.
Yeah.
we're trying to appeal to more girls.
Girls like pretty girls.
All right, anybody else pick Shiro Momiru? No, anybody else have any other comments about Shiro Momiru? Awkward. Okay.
I don't think she's gonna be center, like permanently.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
This is not
Yeah.
just.
Do you think
being salty.
Do you think they'll have like a rotating cast? Like, who do you think would be next center after Miru?
I think it's gonna be Yuri or Futan.
Of course, you would say that.
All right. I think this has gone too far. I think the next center will be
from
Joe.
an objective standpoint, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, the next center is Yuri. Man, Matt's pick for Asian father meme award. Not going very well. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
He's gonna be
If she is
disappointed,
center,
then he'll be doing
that
well.
will be really interesting. An interesting way to open the next era, I think. Okay, next we got Craig. Who's your Asian father meme award? I can't say this properly.
My
Asian
Asian
father.
father meme award of 2018 goes to Nagisa.
Ooh.
Just
Okay.
because, with Rinipon leaving, there's kind of like a big void on members who can kind of like lead the group talking wise, and she's been doing like a really good job lately. Like considering like how bad she used to be, she's probably, I want to say like the best as far as leading MCs and being able to like talk on shows and things like that. So I just expect her to continue that, to lead the group like that in the future. And then also like considering her age, she probably doesn't have that much time left. So I just want her to kind of like maximize that while she can.
All right. Anybody else pick Nagisa? No. Oh, that's a surprise. So, since like Craig mentioned that she was really bad, like I remember watching 4th gen performances. Man, she was really, really bad. Like every answer to like an MC would be like Nagisa Maya Machio Saddest. Everyone like, again, like come on, man, you got to come up with something better. But then when I watched the concert, what was the one concert? Not the arena tour, the tour that happened.
Summer tour.
The No
Summer
Sayaka
tour.
concert.
No, the one that happened. I keep mixing up the arena tour.
Right?
Sasa Psycho, yeah.
Whatever the 7th anniversary was part of.
That's the arena tour.
Was it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so whatever that one was, I watched the concert and I think she did a really good job as MC. She tries really. I don't say she tries. She competes in some of the skit comedy competitions, and I think she's doing a pretty good job. But one of the things where I'm like really like I feel like she's like Sayaka in that she's just improving her own stock. She's not improving the stock of NMB 48.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else agrees.
That makes sense. She's been showing up in like variety programs recently.
Trickle down.
Psychonomics.
Those conservative NMB for you kids. Psychonomics, dude.
That should have been the name of the title.
I do like the way she's growing. It's just that like I wish there would be some way to like bring it back to NMB somehow. But maybe it's just that she's not having the success in the comedy events as we would like. I mean, before it was just like, oh, Machun competed in the comedy event. Wow, it's a big deal. But now it's like, oh yeah, like Nagisa has competed like 3 or 4 times. It hasn't really gotten that far, so it's like it's not really newsworthy anymore.
Well, she's done about as well as Machun did. She's actually done better, I think.
Yeah,
But
that may be true, but that's like not newsworthy anymore, as opposed to like, oh man, this random girl from the idol group is competing.
yeah, I mean, if she won, which is never gonna happen.
I think she had potential, but she kind of messed it up.
Yeah,
But it's kind of funny because like, if you watched like back then, it's like I wouldn't think she even had that potential. Like, oh yeah, she's pretty dumb, haha, that's funny. But now she's like actually like making it into something. It's pretty cool.
yeah, I can
Good
agree with
choice.
that.
Good choice. Anybody else have any comments? All right, next we got Jeff. What do you got for us?
All right, so this is gonna be kind of curveball because I interpret it a little differently, but my Asian Father Meme Award goes to Hayashi Momoka. Cause I don't know, I just recently started Oshiing her, and I kind of feel like I have high expectations in that she has to do a lot if she can capitalize on like the few chances she's gotten to get into Senbatsu. Like, there's a little bit of momentum this year with Nyam at the Janken tournament. Like, a lot of people like the unit Nyam, which is the Team N second gens. And they even won the Best Costume Award from a magazine afterwards. And she's been trying to like break into the fashion world. And I don't know, I just think this is probably her last shot to get into Senbatsu, but I don't expect it, but it's a high expectation. That's why I picked it as my high expectation Asian Father Award.
Oh, that's why she deserves the Asian Father. I can see that, but like she has to work really hard like right now, like otherwise it's probably gone, right? Is that what you're
Right,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't think she has any shot to be kind of like someone who will bring NMB to the spotlight, like some of the other members we've been talking about.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
But you yourself have high
Yeah,
expectations
right.
for her because of the momentum she has from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Maybe I should have.
I think she has a shot. It's just that she kind of has to just find that niche that works and just kind of run with it. It's just, I don't know what that would be, but
And what happened there with that whole fashion thing? Like I remember you and Ryan talking about it on Twitter.
yeah, I don't know, like she just never, the whole wear thing never really took off, because she's just posting pictures of her outfits, and that's kind of the same thing that a lot of other people do. That's what Saipi does. So she's trying a few new things now recently, like doing videos, like showing her outfits, or like this thing called kimawashi, which is where you like wear one piece of clothing in different outfits and how it can like work with those different outfits. So it's only started very recently, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Any other comments? That was a curveball. I wasn't really prepared for this. But I don't know. When I see her, I'm like, God, something needs to turn for her to like to really like have a chance. I was trying to watch like the Team N stage. I think Team N. I don't know which one I dislike more, Team N or Team M. But I know Team N. Like I know like she handles the I think like the first MC.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I don't think it's completely there yet, which is kind of hard because like yeah, she's a second gen, so she should have it by now, but I don't know, just conflicting because like I'm like, oh, maybe she's gonna get it now, but I don't know how she's gonna.
I think that's
like even if she does have momentum, like how is she gonna capitalize it? I just don't know.
yeah, especially with
I can see where the momentum.
yeah,
is.
with how much the 5th gens are being pushed, it's a really steep hill that. Yeah, I think it's the same with the 2nd gens in general, except for Fuchan and Airi, who have been established. Like they've been around so long, but most of them are still like just theater girls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like for example, like Malkyun, I think has found her niche, and I think she's really, really good at it too.
Mhm.
Like I think she's one of the reasons that like would make me want to watch a Team N stage, because she's actually like she's like one of the more fun people to watch doing a stage now, and I think it was good that she broke out of the original Team M to like grow with this other unit. But then like with like girls like Naru and stuff, like you can see her trying to like get something with like her acting or in the musical or whatever. I don't know if it'll pay off, but like at least there's like some form of movement.
Yeah, or that comedy show.
With Mocha, like she has the momentum, but like where's she gonna take it? I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I've always been going back and forth with Mocha. It's always like, man, she's really pretty, right? And then, like, I get the feeling that like she's like a lesser form of Chihi from management's point of view. I'm gonna explain that. So there
Well,
are
I like
members-
Chihi too, so maybe they got something right.
Yeah, no, there's always members in NMB that you get the feeling that like management really wants to push, like random reasons, right? Like she's always in Tepotai and she gets like random like media appearances and in place of Senbatsu and stuff like that. So you always get the feeling like management like wants to push them, but from management's point of view, it's always like, well, no, make me push her, right? So, like, buy more handshake tickets, whatever. Get her into Senbatsu or whatever. So there's always that that feeling that I've gotten from, especially with Mocha. Like she's been how many like Tepotais, right? And she's always if not Tepotai, she's always been in like Akagumi or something. Like it's always like she's always at the border, but she's never broken in. So yeah, I've been looking at her for like a long time, and I always think like what does she need? She needs something, but I honestly like can't put a finger on it. I don't know. Like even Akarin we talked about this on Twitter, right? Like the Tepen Rajo, and Akarin was saying like, oh yeah, you should try this because I think it would really work for you. So like even Akarin's not really sure on like what Mocha can do, but she recognizes that there's something that she can like that Mocha can be successful in.
All right. Anybody else have any other comments? All right. I guess last for the Asian Father Award is me. I give my Asian Father Meme Award to Yamamoto Ayaka.
Oh,
or Ion.
first time she's been mentioned.
I have the highest expectations for her in 2018. Like I feel like if we've been joking with Craig's like trickle down. I feel like in the entertainment industry, like to be like a superstar, like the way Yamamoto Sayaka has been, it's really rare. It's really hard to find. I feel like Ion might have those qualities to be like the superstar. But right now, like, I don't think she's playing it very well. At least, like, for handshakes, I didn't really like her. I mean, she looks great. She performs pretty well, kind of. I don't know. She keeps doing that one song, the T-Men song where you sing live, and I really don't like it when she sings it live. But I feel like she needs to be successful in order for NMB's future to be successful. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Yeah.
Alright. So that's why I have really high expectations for her. Like, I really need to see her grow. What was it? like one of the things that disappointed me is that when you talk to her, you get like really really typical answers, like, "Oh, how do you feel about making your first senbatsu for boku igai or whatever?" She's like, "Oh yeah, well, it's gonna be pretty hard, but I can rely on my senpai." I'm like, "God, dude, that's such like a robotic answer." And like, I think once she figures out how to like turn it around and to like find her, not find her niche, but like find her personality within the entertainment industry, I think she's gonna be big. But for now, it's just like it's not there yet. But you can kind of see it. It's gonna be there.
Yeah, I think my problem with Ayan is that she always acts like what she thinks people think she needs to do. Like, how do I say this? Like, you always, whenever I've seen her, like, I've never been to a handshake with her, but I've always like had the impression that she acts like an idol rather than is an idol.
Yeah,
Right?
I can see that.
Like, you don't feel sincerity coming from her, and that's really weird from to say in like this kind of industry. But like Wota like to be like they want to live the dream, right? That's the thing, right? In Japanese, right? It's like yume o mitai. Like you always want to see the dream. So okay, no, it's when you say like the idol industry is yume o uru shobai, which is it's an industry that sells dreams. So Wota always get pissed off, like for example, like the Riripon thing, when like it's shown to them that it's fake.
Yeah.
So I think like the thing that Ayan needs to do is to show more sincerity.
The thing is like when I see her like appear in like say like Kojinen's videos, like I could see like her like craziness come out, but I don't see it enough. Like, I don't see it on stage, or I don't know. Somebody, I forgot who, compared her to like Mayu when she first started out or something. How like she's like a cyborg or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Almost like that, but like everyone said like, oh, Mayu got cool when she started like being like a little brat or whatever. So yeah, like I have such high expectations because I feel like she can be that superstar, like maybe not. I don't think she'll ever be like Sayaka's level, but like to be like high tier like AKB group member, like yeah, I think she has it. But right now it's not manifesting itself. But it needs to.
I mean, AKB management is pushing her, so she has all the opportunity in the world.
Yeah, she has all the cards, just needs to play them.
Yeah.
Well, she has all the opportunity,
Yeah,
but like
not taking
the
them.
personality needs to come out.
Yeah.
The non-robot. Okay, I guess that'll do it. I don't think anybody else wants to talk about Ayan.
This is
We got two more
surprisingly,
awards
like,
left.
We didn't get any consensus on this award, which is surprising actually.
Everyone has someone different. Ah.
Well, one of the things is that like I considered some of what people said, and I marked it down for certain reasons. So it's like, oh yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but this is why I didn't pick her. And so, okay, anyway, let's move on. So we have two more awards left. We're already at the 2-hour mark, so let's keep going. Let's push through this. Yume no Dead Body Award, or the saddest moment of 2017. Basically, yeah. When did you feel the most sad in all your times this year? So let's just kick it right off. Let's start with Jeff.
All right, my saddest moment was Rainyan's graduation, because I really got into NMB following Rainyan, and I really liked Fujie Team M, and that got me to know a whole bunch of members, and then that spread to learning about all the other teams. And the thing was, the other like personal note was that I was in Japan, like when she announced at the B2 Shonichi, and then the following weekend I had my last handshake with her. So that was like the end of my, I guess, first phase of my NMB fandom, but thankfully I grew to like NMB so much that I'm still here. Now Hako Oshi, finding other members to Oshi after her. And on a personal note, for her, she's still active in the like becoming an actress and on SNS. So I can still see her.
Okay. I remember Andy told me to get a ticket for her to say bye to her. I'm like, dude, I've never even met her. No, just it's like, no, just do it. I'm like, okay. And so, when I just started to get into AKB, which is like 2009 or something, I remember going to Akiba like with my friend because he lives near Akiba and we like to play arcade games. And I remember I had to get something at Yodobashi Camera. I forgot what. So we go there, or maybe we just like hang out there because it's like
It's a cool place.
you could spend so much time just doing nothing there. And I remember going to the bookstore, and then there was a signing by Fuji Arena. I was like, oh, who's this chick? I've never heard of her. It's like, oh, AKB member. It's like, oh, should I get her calendar signed? I don't even know her now. Forget it. Whatever. And then like 4 or 5 years later, oh, she gets transferred to NMB. Oh, okay, whatever. And so for this handshake, I was like, yeah, I guess I could bring up that story about how I didn't get her calendar from like AKB. But I only had like 2 tickets, right? So I had to say my story really fast. My Japanese sucks. And so like Andy was like standing behind me, and I remember like going up to her. She's like, "Oh hey, like how are you?" And I just went straight into my story. It was really funny. I was like, "Oh, konnichiwa." I was like, so I was like, "Oh yeah, so there's like this one time we had the thing." And... But I did remember when I said that. I was like, "Oh, like I remember like I went to Akiba and you had the camera or the signing event for your calendar." And she's like, "Oh my god, like natsukashi." I was like, "Damn, dude, like I brought it back." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I didn't say hi to you. This is the first time I get to say hi to you, and it's also the time to say bye to you." Like, okay, yeah. So interesting final and final memory of Reina.
I think out of
Anybody?
all the transfers, like she did the best because she was the most adaptable, I guess. Like she never like brought the AKB isms with her. She was like, "Oh yeah, this is now NMB, so I'm gonna be like full on NMB."
Well, I thought it was kind of weird because like she hung out a lot with, or it seemed like she was really close to Yamada Nana, and then she was close to like Sayaka. I didn't like really feel like the closeness with any of the
I
other.
don't know. I think she feels like she's close with like everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I might be wrong.
She's like that one person that's like everyone's best friend kind of thing.
That's true.
All right.
And she even went out to dinner with Sayaka and Akarin like the other day.
Yeah. And she does like Instagram live together with Sararan now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, man. So I'm probably wrong.
You know how there's always that one person that like reaches out to people to invite them out to places and stuff like that. I always feel like she's that kind of person.
Yeah. That's
So
what
you're saying,
that's what made
Radiant's
me
like Andy.
Well, one of the funny things is that like when she had that calendar signing, she was also like the young person in AKB, like the newbie. And then when she comes to NMB, she's like expected to be senpai and stuff. So like it was like, whoa, like first you go from being the baby to having to like be like kind of a leader. So it was kind of like a shock to everybody. So I can see like her flipping that personality. Like everybody was really nice to her, so now she has the opportunity to be nice to everybody else. Okay. Any other comments about Rainian? Or should we move on? Okay, sounds like we should move on. So next presenter, me. Saddest moment of 2017. So this year I went to my first 2-shot event. And started off alright. So I think I had Suzu, I had Anshu, and the funny thing about Anshu is like, they like I got what is it, a checky or whatever?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I forgot what she did, but I remember like with the checky they were supposed to like they could write like a comment in the book or whatever, and like I don't know if she knew that or if I knew that, but she didn't write one, so I was like, oh okay, whatever. So I just have the book with it. But the saddest part, I thought I had an open slot, right? So I was like, okay, time to relax. And then like Andy was there, so I was just talking to Andy about like random stuff. And I was like, all right, time to line up for Sayaka, right? And I look at my ticket, and it was for the slot that just ended.
Oh.
Saddest moment of 2020. So there are other things, right? Like before, I had shoe tickets because I wanted to say bye to Shu before she left, but I forgot my tickets at home. Or I had extra Anshi tickets for Anshi train, but I left those at home too. But those I left at home, right? This one I actually had the ticket in my hand. I just didn't read it properly. I was really upset about that. Saddest moment.
Oh, I know how you feel about losing handshake tickets. It's a long story.
Oh yeah.
We should hear this. Like you should tell this, Jeff.
Really? Is that
Alright, let's hear this. Let's hear this story. Let's all
Now
let's all
that
cry
you brought it
about
up, we have to hear it.
basically? I had like 50 or more singles of Ski Nanda shipped to my friend in Japan, but so I was also ordering NMB singles at the same time, and he said, "Oh, the NMB singles came. Okay." I thought everything was fine. But then I go the day before the AKB handshake event to pick up my CDs from him. He lives in Tokyo. And then he says, "Wait, I only got the NMB CDs. Like I didn't know there was another one." And then I go back to my email, checking the tracking of the AKB CD order, and it turns out it never got delivered to his place. It got sent back to like Chiara Annie. But by then it was, of course, way too late to like get it resent. So I just burned like $500 on like 2 days of handshake tickets, and I had like half of those were Yuihan.
The real tragedy.
Yes, and I had some mocha too. But so I couldn't get a 2-shot or something with her. But thanks to Andy, I managed to still salvage a little bit. But that was, if we want to bring that up, that's my actual saddest moment.
Oh man, sad times all around because we're so irresponsible with our money. Oh man. So instead of taking a picture with Saika, I talked to Andy.
Hey, some people would pay for that.
Pay to talk to Andy? What? Maybe. Okay. All right. Let's move on. So Ryan, what do you got for us?
So this is like one thing, one thing that happened, but it's more of representation of like a lot of things. So when they did the Warota People performance, and I forgot the name of the show. Anyways, they did the Warota People performance, and then that was the first time like you found out like who was the Senbatsu and what was the song, blah blah blah. So after that, like the girls who didn't make it into Senbatsu had to basically face their fans, right? So they were hiding it all the way to the end, right? But then at the very end, of course, when they did the performance, like, so a lot of their fans, like, I mean, I don't know, it's always like really hard, right? Like if your girl doesn't get into Senbatsu, it's always like what do you say? Like, and but then like even for the girls, right? It's they can't not address it because like, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. But it's always like if I'm a fan, I don't really want to hear it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I watched a showroom that Rinachi did like right after. It was like the most painful thing I've had to sit through because she was like crying through the whole thing. She was like, oh, I'm really sorry to my fans. Like, I don't really know what to do anymore. I've tried everything. And then she was like, getting back into Senbatsu the first time was like hard enough, which is true, right? Usually when you get dropped from Senbatsu, you never come back. And then like,
I wonder if that's true. I'll do some data analysis.
oh wait. Getting dropped once is normal. Getting dropped twice is like the end. Right? And she's been dropped from Senbatsu like a couple of times. And I think this might be her third time getting dropped from Senbatsu. And she says like, Like, I don't really know what to do. Like, it's so hard. And she just kept crying through the whole thing. It was like, I felt so bad for her. And I had like this conversation with like people on Twitter and something. It's like, well, yeah, you want everybody to be happy, right? But then someone has to be disappointed. Like, and people are complaining, oh, why, like, Coco-chan has to be into Senbatsu. And then, okay, so if Coco-chan is in Senbatsu, then who do you drop? So do we drop, like, ID or something? And then ID's gonna start crying too. Right? So, it's always, like, really hard. Like, I never get, I try to never get worked up with, like, Senbatsu composition, because it's always a crapshoot, right? It's always like what management feels like doing at that point in time. But and I don't like complaining, because yeah, so how would you do it? But yeah, for me that like that one showroom for Rinachi was like the symbol of like the whole struggle of the border girls. And I always like feel for the border girls. Like right now I Oshi like a top girl, right? But I remember when she was in the border, and I always like feel bad for the borders.
It's funny because like if you don't make it in Senbatsu, there's like pretty much like 3 reasons, I think. One is that you didn't try hard enough. No one likes admitting that.
Yeah.
And then 2 is that like maybe you're not talented enough, or you don't have that charisma, which is like another thing that's hard to resolve, right? Because we're in this era where you think you can accomplish anything if you work hard enough.
Damn millennials.
And then 3 is that management is being a jerk, and no member will ever say like, yeah, I didn't make Senbatsu because management was an asshole. Like they're never gonna say that, even if they're thinking it. So it's like you can never win.
Yeah, that's why like it's always hard for like the members to talk about these things, because obviously what they're thinking and what they're saying are different, right? It's always like, oh, management screwed me.
And then, like you said, like management, like getting into Senbatsu is a crapshoot, right?
Yeah.
So if we had like a clear rubric, like, oh, this is how you get into Senbatsu, then we'll be like, oh, okay, like I can see why my member didn't make it because she didn't meet like this criteria or whatever. Like that would make so much sense, right? You'd say like, oh yeah, oh okay, like oh I get it, we didn't meet that. But because we don't know, like it just feels bad all around when somebody doesn't make it. And you can say like, why didn't they expand the Senbatsu, right? Like, do you think the Senbatsu would change if it was 20 people instead of 16? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess they have to pay more for hotel fees or whatever, but like still.
I mean, the conversation will just shift, right? You add 4 more girls, and it's gonna be like, well, why didn't Naru get in?
Yeah. But at the same time, it's just like, well, you know, it's 20 people. Like, no, 20 people. Like, that's for at least it's not 16 people. Like, oh,
Or 7.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was really weird too. Like with Must Be Now, it's just like, oh yeah, like I didn't make some butts. It's like, can you be angry at that? Like that was really weird.
The true Senbatsu was the other one, the Kata Omoy.
Yeah.
You never forget
shoe center.
Yeah. Request our number 3.
Any other comments?
I guess
other comments about...
maybe I don't know if this has happened before, but specifically this time since they like revealed the Senbatsu and the song and everything on the show, and there was a Team M stage that night, right?
Yeah.
So when they announced the members for Team M stage, you knew those were the ones who didn't get in, and there were some border members like Chihi, and then Coco-chan specifically was like, "Oh, this is her first time performing in Team M stage. Like, we should be happy." But it's for a reason that she is not in Senbatsu. So that was just kind of awkward and maybe a little bit poorly handled.
Actually, Coco-chan talked about that in her blog. She said like when the manager asked her like, do you want to matagi? How do you say matagi? Sub for Team M on that day. She was like, no, that's the day that they're gonna announce the Senbatsu. So she knew, right? And she was like, yeah. and she had to like dance around it. Like her fans kept asking her about it, and she was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then during the stage, they actually talked. Like Renapyeon actually touched on it. He said like, yeah, we know that the Senbatsu is over there, and we're here.
I also want to say that like in the past years, we've usually had at least 3 singles, right?
Yeah.
Like we do usually have something in like spring, and then something in summer, and then something in winter. This year we've only had the album and like this
Winter.
really late entry for a single.
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess that's why there was people were really interested, because we really haven't had like this kind of Senbatsu war in a really long time, because we didn't have our spring single. So extra pressure this year too. Okay, any other comments? No. Okay, let's move on. What do we have next? We have Matt next. Saddest moment.
Yep. I'm gonna go for a while for this one. I'm gonna basically say Imichi, Kamiya Imika, graduating. Her announcement is what legit bummed me out. Basically, it was like a Thursday night, and I think I just got her birthday shirt from Andy. Like, he mailed it over to me because I couldn't buy it from the shop, so he bought it from the local shop. I'm like, oh sweet, I got her birthday shirt. And then it's later that night, it's like, oh, I'm graduating from NMB 48. And I was like so bummed out. I called my buddy Adrian, and I was like, yo, bar, 8 o'clock. And I was, started drinking.
Dang, dude.
Because basically she was like my number 2 NMB member after Sayaka. So basically I like invested a lot in like Imika handshakes. Like, she's basically my go-to handshake member for basically every single whenever I go to. She also became like my quote-unquote like dump slot. So like if a member was busy or canceled or something, like, oh, okay, I like does Oshimashi with Imichi, because she always had her slot like a slot 7, slot 8.
We need better names for
But it's like her announcement timing was like super sucky for me, because it's like a week before, another member I liked, she graduated, and I had a bunch of handshake tickets for her. It was Hamatsu Ryona teammate, and I had like 12 tickets or something for her. I was like, okay, cool, I'll just use those tickets on Imichi. And then next week, Imichi announced the graduation. I'm like, oh shit, I had like 30 tickets for her. So I'm like, oh, I won't be able to use these for... This is during the Senbatsu single, so... The Sosenkyo single, so it's like, everyone's sold out, or none of the members I would like the Oshimachi with were available. So I was like, oh, crap. What am I going to do with all these tickets? Eventually I was able to refund them, which was actually cool. I got to, basically, got to open the CDs, take the tickets, vote for them, and I got to return them and refund them. So I got to have my cake and eat it too, and that's pretty cool. It's kind of not terribly surprising. Like, I feel like none of the graduations this year were super shocking, because everyone who graduated, like, they didn't participate in the Senbatsu Sosenkyo.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was kind of like a whole roller coaster for her, because she got transferred from B2 to M, lost her captaincy. So I think that probably affected her, motivation. I went to a 2-shot event with her, and what they did the checky is like you have to have at least 48 members or 48 tickets to have you do the lottery. I had 2 tickets for her, and they were both no draw, auto win.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, which I already had a checky from like a month previously, so I'm like, I don't need 2 more. But I'm like, fine, whatever. She drew a horse on the booklet on one of them, so that was nice.
But I feel you, because like when it's kind of hard, because when somebody announces their graduation and you don't really care about them, or they're like not your favorite, it's like, oh yeah, I kind of saw the writing on the wall or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when it is like one of your favorites or like close to it, you're just like, damn, dude, I'm wrecked.
Yeah,
like I threw in all the support, and like what's gonna happen to it, I don't know. But it's just like I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it.
Yeah, so like her like announcement for her graduation was going to be like in like I think it was August 1st or whatever. So I was in the middle of summer break. So I'm like, oh cool. Basically the week leading up to her graduation, I went to Osaka and applied for every single theater show, NMB theater show. Didn't win any of them. Even did IMPO, the long distance application. Didn't win any of them. So that bummed me out. So I ended up watching the stream later. But yeah, I really appreciate Emika. I don't think I'd be as deep into the NMB fandom if it weren't for her, because I started watching like a lot of her programs. Like, I think speaking of favorite shows, let's pour one out for Takoyaki English.
Yes, so good.
Like, I didn't like that's how I discovered Takoyaki, so because that show, and then all the other guests that were on the show. Like I listened to their radio show Unlimited with Ichidi Anna. So that's how
I like that too.
Yeah, which now Uka took Emika's spot on that. Yeah, so basically I just want to say thanks, Imichi.
Alright. Any other comments for Emichi? I feel like there are certain people that would just go to her just because she speaks English.
Yeah, that's why I went to her.
Like, really,
That's not.
but it'd just be like, just so I could speak English or whatever. And I know there's like a lot of other members from different groups that are like that. It's like, oh yeah, that girl speaks English, so just go talk to her. But then like the fact that you like supported her for so long, I think is different than like the typical like, oh yeah, I have extra tickets, let me just speak English to this girl. So, dang dude, you got me with that.
I think there's something like the thing that Joe always talks about. It's that there are the graduations where you feel bad because there's a lot of like lost potential. But I'm not Matt, right? So I don't. I never Oshi'd like Emichi, but I appreciated like how she led like third gen and then all that. But I always got the feeling with her that she was able to get what she wanted out of like the idol business, and then she left because she was done.
Yeah, she wanted to go study.
Right? Yeah. So
in Spain now.
So in that sense, I don't personally. It wasn't that sad. I'm sorry. I'm ruining I'm ruining the idea of the award. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about like the thing that Joe talks about all the time.
Well, like,
in this case, I think it's different because like Matt's thrown a bunch of support behind her.
Yeah, of course it's
And
different.
I think that makes a huge difference. Besides like the whole like, oh yeah, she graduated too early. It was just like, oh yeah, but like, man, that's who I threw my support behind,
yeah, I mean, like, Rainian, like, she was there for 10 years. Like, everyone knew she was going to graduate sometime this year. But then, like, when it finally came to time, like, I still felt like, oh man, I'm going to miss her so much. So, like, it's possible to feel both ways. I think especially like you're saying, oh, you threw your support behind this member.
Yeah, it's like that one girl at her last handshake that had like a 5-minute long speech in front of everyone when they're about to do like the send-off picture. Like Ryan was there; he knows what I'm talking about.
Who was that?
It was like the leader of like the Seitensai group or whatever, like that girl.
Yeah.
And she had his like really long speech to Emika while we're waiting to pose for a picture.
We were talking like we were saying like she really needs to pay for that.
This is Emichi?
No, her like committee president, whatever.
Oh, okay.
So basically, before people were like getting ready to take the picture for the goodbye, right? So the girl was like making a speech as a representative of her fans to Emichi. It went on and on and on.
Well, I mean, my experience is kind of different because I remember going to like Jonish K's last event, and then there were these people that would just keep buying like her DVD or whatever, just so they can extend the moment. But they weren't doing it for themselves; like they would just buy it so that like everybody else could like have one extra moment with Jonish K. It was actually incredible. I remember for like the last guy, he just like was like shaking her hand. He's just like, and he just looks to the crowd. He's like, "Dude, I don't have any other questions. Does anybody else want to ask her anything?" And so they like just opened the floor to everybody else. I was like, man, that's like really cool. That's like a really tight community. That they would like sacrifice like their own money, not for themselves or like to boost the image of themselves in front of this girl, but for like the community. So I don't know what was in that speech that they gave to Emichi, but maybe it's along the same lines. hopefully. Okay, any other comments? Close the door on Emichi, sadly.
Yep.
All right. Well, last we got Craig. Hopefully you're not watching a different basketball.
No. I already seen him get dunked on. That's all I needed to see. So my saddest moment, not as sentimental as you guys, my saddest moment of 2017 was when they cut Manabu-kun's runtime from an hour to 30 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
And it's just, ever since then, I just feel like the pacing is off.
Right.
It
Just so
feels
rushed.
So rushed. It's like, although I did feel like sometimes the other one ran a little too long sometimes, but now it just feels super rushed. And, you know, they cut out the location segments. So the sad part is there's no going back from that. It's like you can't just say next time, oh, let's put it back to an hour again. It's like, you know, that's
Unless they do like a special
so,
event or something.
yeah. So unless they do a special episode or unless they retool the show somehow, it's, you know, so it's the end of an era a little bit.
Yeah, I did think it was really weird when I watched that Nami episode. I was like, oh yeah, maybe they'll just continue in the next episode or something. But then I was like, dude, that is over already? That was really fast.
Yeah, they've done that where they have run it over into a different episode, so they'll probably do that depending, I guess, whatever the subject is. But you just like it's just gonna be like it's a little too disjointed, I guess.
Yeah.
for me.
I think maybe this week with Arimura Kon, the movie guy, that might be stretched into 2 episodes. And the fact that they have to plan ahead and film the location, you know, they probably will still continue that occasionally.
Yeah, I hope they do. But on the other hand, like an hour long was pretty long. Like I don't think I'm not sure I finished many full episodes because I just keep going and it's like, oh, okay. But at the same time, this also feels really short with the Nami episodes.
Yeah,
I'm
I think it just depends on the subject because some of them, you know, it'll keep your attention the whole time, and some of them you just kind of do something else while you're watching it.
Yeah, I remember some episodes they would like split it in half, kind of, so they'd be like, oh, the first like one guy talks about this part. Because I remember the Michael Jackson one.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was the whole episode. I think that was only half.
No, the other half was like either the one with vegetables or the one about fashion. Forgot which one.
Just if you took that quote out of context, just
Put it anywhere.
But I know exactly what you're talking about.
that was actually like a really, really clever pick. I really like that. Anybody there have any other comments about Manabu-kun?
I mean, I was gonna pick Shu's graduation, but I was more sad when she announced it, and that was last year. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dang, that timing.
I'm surprised no one chose Fuchan.
you know why? It's because I think when she announced it, the way she announced it, it's not like it was like, oh, you let it build up to the point where you could be sad. It's just like, hey, I'm graduating.
Good
Peace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like that.
When
It was really weird.
Yeah, she said she was like so nervous that she just said her like whatever she had on her mind really, really fast. And then she even was looking around at the members like if they had even listened to her and understood what was going on.
I mean, you could notice it. Like everyone's really shocked. Like everyone was like, yeah, we're so happy. Like Psycho, I think it was just after like Psycho or something.
It was near the end. It was like
yeah, and then I'm quitting, and then everyone just stopped.
Maybe it was before. It was either before or after like Seishun.
It was before, just before.
Yeah.
Just before. That's the weirdest timing.
Yeah. So like
Your live, the anthem that gets everybody hyped,
Yeah.
and you announce it before. I do think the weirdest timing ever was Kanakichi.
Oh yeah,
Isn't that, like
in the middle of the
song?
song.
well, if we're gonna talk about the weirdest timing, it's always Ririka.
Yeah.
I mean, the best time. Live television.
Like millions of people watching.
I don't think that timing is weird so much as it is wrong. Okay. Alright, finally, I guess we'll move on to the last award now. The Burnt Tongue Takoyaki Award. Favorite moment or event of 2017. Because it's so good that you can't wait for the takoyaki to cool down. I was considering call it the Hot Pocket Award. Because I don't know. I feel like takoyaki is the Japanese version of a Hot Pocket.
Well, also it's Osaka, so no, I think Nikuman is more of a Hot Pocket. The meat buns.
You think so?
Yeah, the meat buns.
I mean, like in theory, they're more of a Hot Pocket, but like in terms of like biting, like burning your tongue on it, I don't think I'd do it with Nikuman or Butamon. Or
I've done it a couple times.
Or Bao or Shopao or steamed buns, whatever you want to call it.
Gyoza.
Yeah, this is gonna be this award that you give to your favorite thing ever that happened in 2017 related to NMB 48. Not favorite thing ever. That'd be great. That'd be crazy. Because otherwise, it'd be the release of Tekken 7 for PS4 and Steam. Okay, so we'll start with Matt.
Okay. Actually, I have a couple. I'm gonna cheat a little. They're real quick. First one, actually, it was the very beginning of the year, like the first handshake of the year, January 7th, and I got Sayaka's sign card,
Nice.
which you have like a really low chance of getting. So I was really happy about that. But I'm like,
Probably the lowest of low chances.
but
Do
it's
we
also
have
my
to explain to people like how hard it is to win Sayaka? I mean, I'm sure like the people who are listening to this will probably know, right?
yeah. So basically,
that one Mexican.
It's like,
so
hi,
yeah,
Andy.
basically the Senbatsu top members, they have, I think it's like 10, 20 cards per slot that you can get a signed card for. So only 20 people in that whole slot can get a signed card. And basically get it by pushing the button on the iPad. It doesn't matter which button you push, I don't think. But yeah, so I got one of those. I was one of the 20, so I think that's like a 4% chance. The math, because
and you have to win the ticket.
you have to win the ticket too. Yeah, it was also it's like a double challenge or whatever. So yeah, I got that. It was really cool. But probably my other favorite moment was also at a handshake event, and it was for Sayaka also. And I was next in line, and then that's when Sayaka had to like start taking like her little take a break from the handshakes to like drink. As again, her Oji-san said, is like, oh, now is her juice time. So so me and Gin are just talking to each other, having this like the dumbest conversation ever. Like he's trying to talk to me in English, I'm trying to talk to him in like broken Japanese, and like it's like the staff, like the timer staff and the put guard staff, like they're all like so focused on our conversation that they're not even paying attention to Sayaka. So by the time like she finished like doing everything, whatever, like doing her makeup and all this crap, like Andy, who's right behind me, he's like saw Sayaka's ready, so he slapped me on the back. He's like, go! And Gen's like, oh, sorry. So it's just really funny ignoring Sayaka and talking to Gen instead of Sayaka.
Priorities, man.
Oh, she handed Gen.
You should.
Yeah,
You can
I like
sell
that.
handshake tickets too.
Yeah. So like usually it's like whenever I go see Sayaka, I'm like, obviously Sayaka I'm also excited for, but I'm also excited for whenever Gen is her OGS. Because sometimes there's this other Oji-san who looks like Gen, but he has like black hair, so I call him Dark Gen, like evil Gen. 'Cause he's like not as nice, not as friendly. That's why he's dark, not because. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's my favorite moment. My burnt takoyaki of 2017.
I think the award winning is pretty nice. But it's also those small moments, right? Like you talk to security guard, or you meet somebody cool, or you meet the fan.
Yeah.
Or, you know, those small things that you don't expect are always like really nice, in my opinion. And I think that's like, I think that's one of the things that like I have pride in like our little NMB community is that like you'll always find like these small events if you hang out with us enough. All right. Any other comments? No. All right. We'll move on to Craig. Craig, what do you got for us?
So I have a couple too, so I'll try to go pretty quick. So my first one is first time I went to a handshake event this year during the summer, and to be honest with you, I think the most fun part is just the atmosphere of being there and then just hanging out with everyone. I think out of everything, I enjoyed that probably the most. But it was really cool. It's just like just meeting everyone. Everyone's really cool. They're always willing to help you out. I think the first person I met there was Matt, actually.
Yeah. Like some white guy walks up to me, "Hey, I think I know you," and I'm like,
I was staring at it. I was like, kind of like familiar.
"Like who's this white guy?"
White guy there.
I'm gonna talk to him.
So yeah, that was fun. Miru tried to fish me, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Second one was when they started performing the new stages at the beginning of the year.
Oh.
So I try not to stay up for events like that just because I always feel like crap the next day. But
Yeah, we're old.
it's just I was like, you know what? I just want to see what they do. So I was like, I'm off the next day, whatever. So it was just bringing back that excitement of not knowing what they're gonna do, who's gonna be in what song. So like when they did Mocha Geisha the first time, I was like, oh, I haven't heard this stage, I haven't seen this in like forever. And then when Team M did I Don't Know Yoake again, I started laughing because I was like, are we doing this again? So that was really fun. I had a lot of fun during those stages.
Okay. God, I really wish they would have new stages, or original stages.
It's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
I don't know Yoake. Oh boy.
Well, it's better than Reset, I guess.
My question with the first thing I thought of when I found out that Team M was doing Idol in Yoake is that what's gonna happen with Request R?
You mean who's gonna perform in the unit?
Yeah. So if someone chooses I know there are Idol for example Tengoku Yaro, right? That used to be like the Momoka song. So if you were a Momoka fan, you'd vote for Tengoku no Yaro for Request R. So now, I don't know who's doing Tengoku Yaro in Team M.
Who knows? I mean, all the teams are shorthanded.
Yeah.
And we don't have any kick you to anyway.
But basically, you lose the... I mean, it probably doesn't matter, right? I mean, no one thinks about that. Like, oh, what are you going to choose for Request R? But that... I mean...
But I thought like when you choose, it's like, oh, what song do you want to choose? You choose the single or the stage or whatever. So if you choose like, you would choose like Team M, whatever, whoever was the captain, Team M Yamada or whatever, and then you choose like who or the song, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
I don't think they do.
We don't even have request hour.
Well, yeah, that's.
I thought they did. That's how we did it before.
No, it's always They always do Team N, M, and B, but they never like specify like which version of what team.
Oh. But I don't know. NMB's request hours are always weird. That's why we have Overture and
Cameron. Well, we didn't even have one this year, so
Yeah. That's okay. It's because like Nijinutsu Kurikata was like so perfect. It was like the last time they
That's it. It's over.
we've reached peak request hour.
Well, I mean, they've already lost two of the 5 members.
That's true. That's why it's sad.
Plus, when you only put out like 5 new songs a year,
What's the point of having?
you're not really adding much.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, okay. Good picks. Next, we got Ryan. What are your bird tongue takoyaki moments of the year?
Okay, so I really dislike showroom, but I mean I am against the very concept of like chat ladies. I'm sorry for all the chat ladies out there.
Chat roulette, let's go.
Yeah, basically, right? Anyways,
Cam girls.
So my pick for like best event though has something to do with showroom, which was when the Sosenkyo was canceled. Like not canceled. Like they had like the typhoon in Okinawa, right? And they couldn't do the concert. So what NMB did was, okay, we have all the girls like in this hotel and we are not doing anything. Let's all do a showroom, like everybody. And they did like basically a guerrilla showroom. Like they did like some random games and stuff like that. It was like yeah, it sucks, but we're gonna try to make the best of it. And I thought like that one event like showed just how like what's good about NMB basically.
Did any of the other groups do something like that?
No, just NMB.
No, of course. Because we the best.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys watch that?
No, I still haven't gotten around to it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of pointless, right? They were just like messing around like the whole time. But
usually the best ones.
That's everything good about it.
That's every showroom.
Yeah. But I'm sorry to bring this back to Ririka again, though. But
dude, why are you so fixated?
I'm a secret Ririka fan. Anyways,
Yeah.
so when I was watching it, so that was the day before her announcement. So I distinctly remember thinking like, wow, Riripon's surprisingly like quiet today. Like she didn't say anything. Like Maokyun and all those girls were like messing around, and then Rika was just in the corner like being quiet the whole time. So I remember thinking like, wow, it's really weird that she's quiet. And then we found out, right? It's because she probably knew what was gonna happen the next day.
All right. Yeah, Maokyun.
She's really important though with like her MC thing.
Like I said, she would be like if she's really good in the stage, then I would watch the T-Men stage.
Yeah.
But like that's pretty much the only reason I would watch T-Men. Yeah, just because I don't want to talk about Ririka anymore. I'm surprised we don't even have a Ririka award. Okay, I didn't watch that. I didn't even watch the election. I think I got the results like the day after or something. And then my class asks like, oh, like, did you watch the Sosenkyo? Like, no, I didn't. It's like, oh, like, who did you vote for? I was like, no, it doesn't matter. She didn't even win anyway.
Hey, she got 89th, man.
And I was like, man, I even bought like 10 CDs or 15 CDs or something, and everyone's like laughing at me. It's like, oh, I can't believe you bought so many CDs. They're just kids. Okay, anybody else see it? Anybody else have any comments? My cold is intensifying. I can feel the nasally part of my voice cut out. So, okay, next, I guess I'll present my Burnt Tongue Takoyaki Award. That will be. We already mentioned it, so it's kind of what is it? The foreshadowing happened, but my favorite event was the Gaijin trade on
We really
yeah,
need
basically.
better names.
I don't know how it happened, but maybe it was last year when I got tickets for Anshu. Me and Andy, like, I asked Andy, like, who do you have that you want to go see together? He's like, oh, I got Anshu tickets. I was like, okay, I'll get some. I'm like, and then I show up. He's like, oh, how many you have? I'm like, oh, I got like 3 or 4. He's like, dude, I have like 15. I was like, well, that's not fair. And I think the same thing happened. He's like, oh, I got some for Saipi too. He's like, oh, how many did you get? I got 2. He's like, oh, I got like 51. I was like, oh, all right. But so like, Anshu's lane was empty that time. It was just me and him, and so we just loop her over and over. And then she like I don't think she really knew us, but then like because we spoke like English, like she got like super excited. It's like super hyped and it's like yelling. It's like ah, you know, whatever. And then like I remember after we left, like some of her other fans started lining up, and it was in Tokyo, so she didn't have a lot of fans there, and there was just like a couple people. But like she even started talking English to them, and we thought that was really cool, right? So earlier this year, I guess like Andy had this idea. It's like, oh, let's just get like a bunch of gaijin to go see Anshu, and then like you know, same thing kind of happened, right? Like we all lined up, we all said hello, and he told her to call us homies and stuff. It's like, oh, hello, homie, or whatever, and you know, it was really funny, and you know, we all went. I should have had more tickets so I could talk about Dragon Quest, but I didn't. So, I know Matt talked about Dragon Quest.
Yeah, that's why I want to talk to her.
Like everybody else spoke English except for Matt.
I tried to speak English.
Yeah.
Except the white guy.
Yeah, that'd be the biggest.
You can't say the white guy. There was like.
Oh yeah, the British guy was white too. but he couldn't speak any Japanese.
So, and then, that kind of, like, sticks, because, again, once her other fans start lining up, or, like, the other lines just start looking at our line, like, what the hell's wrong with, like, with Anshi, right? Like, why is she speaking English so loudly, or, like, so I remember that, but it also impacts a lot, because I remember seeing her again. I think it was just, I don't know if it's just me, or if Annie was there, too. I think Annie was there. But I remember it was, like, my last handshake event, and I was just like, oh, hey, I was gonna, I wanted to buy Dragon Quest 11, but I'm going back to my home country. But luckily, I'm able to buy Dragon Quest 11. She's like, all right, yeah, like, lucky or whatever. I was like, okay. And then she, she starts speaking really loud. She starts speaking English, and then like everybody from the other lines like just look at just look at us, because like it's just so weird. It's so crazy, and I feel like that's kind of like a very unique experience, right? Like you have this kind of influence on this member that like makes everybody like stop and watch, and it's a really positive influence too. So that kind of stuff, like that kind of like uniqueness, like makes me glad to be a fan, I guess.
Didn't she ask you where your teacher friend was one time?
Maybe.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like where's English teacher?
I know Andy's better looking than me, so. But still, it's pretty cool, pretty unique.
Yeah, it's always like it's the like the fleeting moment where you mattered in their lives, right?
I feel like when she speaks English, like I feel like that's our influence, because I don't think she would speak English otherwise. Like I don't think anybody else speaks to her in English, right? Like she's not the type of girl where like you want to speak English to her. But like when she like plays like Mario Odyssey and says like "hello" or whatever, and I feel like that's our. I don't know if it is, but I feel like
take credit for it.
Yeah, why not, right? It's more fun to do so.
Because why would she speak? No one else speaks English to her.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I have a lot of those incidental stories and handshakes, but I think by far, because of that, because of the Gaijin train, like this is where it all started. So that's my favorite moment. That's my Bird Tongue Takoyaki Award of 2017. Okay, any other comments? No. Alright, we'll just move on to Jeff. He's got the last award.
Close this out.
All right.
We're hitting the 3-hour mark.
My favorite event was 7th anniversary.
Yeah. Yay, a typical. The only typical one. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this a little bit in our last podcast where we recapped the arena tour, but that was my first NMB concert, and I thought, NMB, you really have to see them live to really appreciate like what they're all about. A lot of their songs, like we talked about, are a different experience when you see them live, and you get to see the members up close if you get good seats, like I did. And then, of course, as Craig mentioned, like big part of the events is just hanging out with all the other fans, and I've been in other fan communities where that's happened as well, and yeah, that's definitely a big part of it for me, and why I could want to go to events, to hang out with other fans and have these random little silly moments as well.
I think one of the things that kind of makes me sad about the concert is that it's hard to win more than 2 tickets, or if you even have the option to win more than 2 tickets, because it'd be cool if we could like all go.
Yeah.
I think there's one the Livehouse tour last year, which is the tour I keep mixing up with the arena tour. The Livehouse tour, like it was just open seating, and I think that was like the only time when I was like, we had concert tickets and we're like all next to each other, so that was really cool. But like, oh man, it's kind of weird when it's just like, oh, I'm sitting by myself at the back and everybody else is in different seats, and it's like, oh yeah, let's talk about the concert afterwards. But anyway, I'm just ranting about something.
Yeah, it's always more fun. Like events are always more fun if you have people to enjoy them with, of course.
Yeah, and if you vote for Yuri, you get free dinner.
I think three of you have gone to her to tell her that. I think Craig was the first one.
Andy,
No,
Craig,
it wasn't. I
Matt.
don't think it was.
Matt?
Oh yeah, you know I did.
Yeah, you did. I remember you doing it.
Yeah, I did mine like way later. Like it was like in October. I told her that. That's why she's like, "Do you keep buying lunch for people?"
Yeah, she did ask me that.
Yeah.
No, it's the same one.
All right. I guess that closes us out for this episode. It's 3 hours. You think anybody's gonna listen to like this far? Jesus.
If you did,
Mexican guy.
thank you.
Congratulations.
We appreciate it.
I think we need to retool this podcast if we're gonna hit the 3 hour mark because I don't know about this. Anyway,
That's fun anyway.
that'll do it. That'll do it for this episode. I think we were thinking about talking about some of the stuff like the new single and everything. We'll just leave that.
You talked a bit about it
another
already
time.
in the favorite
Yeah,
song.
I mean, yeah, a lot of the people. One of the hyper song, hypest.
The hyphy. On fleek.
Hyphy, dude. Hyphy is so old.
On fleek.
It's
That's
lit,
the-
fam.
Lit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, lit. Who uses lit? I remember Kodakumi uses lit. That was the name of one of her singles. Remember her?
No.
She did the song for Final Fantasy X too.
Isn't that
Okay.
Utada Hikaru? No?
No, that's Kingdom Hearts.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say? Kohaku, no. We didn't make it into Kohaku this year, of course.
But you can vote for Kohaku. Vote for your favorite song.
Vote for 365.
365, yeah.
Oh, for AKB Kohaku.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, for
actual-
NHK Kohaku.
Oh, for the real.
They have a
Kohaku?
voting.
I hope
Not
it's at even if 365 or some Sambaku. Did they have an abbreviation for that?
I just call it 365.
Kamihikoki.
Yeah, but-
I don't know.
The Japanese don't have any abbreviation for it.
They call it Sambyaku Rokujogo Nichi.
That's still a mouthful.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to abbreviate Fasta Kitchen to Fakin, certainly we can get something for Sangaku Rokujugo Nichi Kamihikoki, so... even if it does win, and it should be an NMB song, but it's not.
Yeah.
There's that salt coming through. Anything you guys looking forward to 2018? No.
See, we talk about like how negative we are, and it's really hard to like. I don't want to sound like if we're not gonna make predictions, right? Because we don't want to be like.
I don't want to make predictions. Just like what are you excited about for next year? You know, isn't anything? cool
Two-shot
about it, or is it
events
just, like-
and handshake events, which is like the constant cycle like every year. So it's not really
Yeah,
special.
Yeah, dude, we got a smaller table this year.
That's
You can
kind
get
of like important for some.
Get an up-close photo or a far-away photo.
Yeah.
I still really want to win another theater show, but I don't know if that's really gonna happen. I don't even know how I won the first one, the only one.
You even won the graduation show. That's like really.
I won a
really
graduation show and Saika was there. Like oh,
For
man,
who?
All the stars aligned for that one. Oh, for Aika.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to get into the theater.
Me too.
I want to try to make it out there for a concert next year.
Yeah, I'll try to make it to some event in Japan next year.
Fuchan in
But
March.
people-
So yeah, probably like
excited about
Fuchan
events.
graduation concert or 8th anniversary is the best time.
In October-ish.
I might be able to make it in October. Well, I wanted to go back to like visit my students for their graduation, which is in March. And but the thing is, tickets are usually cheap in March, like really really cheap before like Hanami season.
Mm.
Aren't they advertising like $500 round trip tickets or something?
It was 400.
Yeah, I saw something
I
like
thought
that.
like I thought that was like permanent, but like it ended already. But it's still only 500. Like
Man,
50.
LA gets all the
It's not
best
that much.
deals.
Yeah.
Well, we also have the most flights, so it makes sense, right?
Just fly out to LA, hang for a couple days, and then go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that. It's like $1,000 to Seattle, so
Hang out with us.
yep.
We have another friend coming to LA soon, so she'll hang with us for a bit. I mean, we might watch like a Lakers game or a Clippers game or something. I didn't tell Craig yet. Now you
Keep my schedule open.
I don't want to mention her name just in case she doesn't want to be mentioned, but yeah. Things to look forward to next year. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's room to grow, but like whether or not they will grow is always the thing. I really want to see people like doing it.
I mean,
the draft.
I think next year it's the sword of Damocles, right? Like we're waiting for it to fall. But I think more than anything, like next year is the most likely when like they will go with like Miru or whoever like as center for the entire year, and then on 8th anniversary they drop the Sayaka thing.
I want Sayaka to put like NMB on her back for like the last year and like really push it. That would be like my dream.
I don't know. I'm starting to think that kind of like passed now.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible.
That's why like the only reason to like make it viable would be to like this is her last year. Like I want to leave it in a good place. So it'd be like the massive
Like the Takamina thing where she announces a year in advance.
And they still didn't have a venue for her graduation.
Yeah, that was just management being dumb.
She can't say that. But like I don't know, like remember you guys mentioned that they wanted to be on Oaxaca, right? But like it doesn't. There's no like pressing need like there was when they first did it, right? It's like this is our dream, like, and you could tell like everything, like their entire like campaign that year was like flavored with this like will to be in Kohaku, and now it's just like Sayaka's doing her own thing, and NMB is doing its own thing, like kind of separate. It's like why don't they combine again? Like why doesn't she want to like take NMB to the top anymore? That's what I want to see. I want to see them merge together, like one last time. Trickle down.
Yeah, I mean, if they can manage it, right? Trickle down.
Yeah.
Trickle down idonomics.
Yeah, look at these graphs. Bring it all back. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for watching.
Or listening.
I hope you watching our voices with your ears.
With the thumbnail image.
Hey man, so I was watching like ESPN when I went on a cruise last week. That was like half the time of my cruise I was watching ESPN. Maybe we could change the image so that we could have links to all the awards, so that if people only wanted to know about one award, they could just click on it and be like, yeah, they can click on our
like timestamps.
That's the dream. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I was supposed to take notes on what we were talking about everything. Oh. Okay. Thanks for watching. Unless you guys have any final words, then I'll just sign us all out. Is that cool?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. This is Takoyaki Party 2017. The conclusion. See you next year.